The Circus Sports, the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnson. We finally wrapped up the head coaching cycle in the NFL. Over the weekend, multiple sources reported that the Cardinals are hiring Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur to be their new head man, and the Las Vegas Raiders are expected to hire Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak after the Super Bowl to be the new head coach in Sin City. Also in some Nashville Predators news, general manager Barry Trotz is stepping down from his role. Trotz had been the GM since 2023 and was the head coach of the Preds from 1998 to 2014. Vol basketball got their third straight win over the weekend as they beat Auburn at home 77-69. Sorry, Dawn. Nate Ament led the way with 22 points and 8 boards. And the Vols will host Ole Miss tomorrow night in Knoxville. Lastly, number 18 Vanderbilt picked up a win at home on Saturday against Ole Miss, 71-68. Brentwood Academy standout Tyler Tanner led the way with 24 points. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news and watch on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live from Circus Sports in Las Vegas. It is a beautiful day
in Vegas.
In Sin City.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't it be?
We are in a cabana at Stadium Swim. Go ahead and Google it. It is pretty amazing. How big do you think that screen is with all those televisions on it?
9,000 square feet.
I was going to go 10.
I mean,
but,
right there.
But 9's right there.
I mean, right there in the same area.
Hope you're having a great Monday. We will talk about all the things that happened over the course of the weekend. Also, we've got Super Bowl matchup, Seahawks and Patriots coming up this weekend. We'll spend some time on that. Todd Fuhrman will join us momentarily. He is here.
And he's in the building.
He's definitely in the building.
He's wearing orange shoes.
Yeah. Paying homage. He's paying homage is what he's doing. All my bets that I've been right, he wanted to bow down. That's how he bows down and lets me know you're really the genius. That's what he does. I know exactly what he's doing. He can do that without even verbalizing.
You think so?
That's what I took from it.
Well, he's going to verbalize.
Oh, yeah, I know he would. That's why I got to get him before he try to get on and get me.
Zeph is organizing this. This is how people from Vegas do like a pool in February.
Yeah.
They wear vests. And long-sleeve shirts.
I'm trying to
Meanwhile, you're bringing sexy back.
Yeah, I'm over-under on how long I keep this shirt on. That's the main thing for me.
For everybody that isn't watching, you're missing out, A. But B, Slay has a tank top on.
Yeah, also known as the Ike Turner.
Okay, yeah. You got to be careful what you call it nowadays.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ike.
Politically correct.
Did he pass away?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
anyway,
usually when we bring people up on the show, they have passed
dead,
away.
yeah.
No, when you bring them up.
Yeah, okay, well, you brought
so
it up.
Fuhrman literally walked in and was like, oh, what? We don't wear sleeves and hats in this league? Like, what's going on?
Why? Why would we?
Fuhrman is here. Is your mic on?
I'm not sure.
There it is.
You guys can hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, look, Slay, I mean, we have some level of decorum. Just because you're in Las Vegas doesn't mean you basically have to go sleeves optional in every capacity. I mean, this is the Rick Vaughn treatment when he showed up to spring training here. No caps, no sleeves, like it's a California Penal League you're after.
Hey,
So true.
I'm just saying.
That's our favorite movie of all
It's
time.
it's hands down the best sports movie ever. I think, when did it come out? 88, 89? I don't even know when.
I don't know, but I used to watch it as a kid growing up over and over.
First R-rated movie my dad ever took me to.
Is that right?
So, yep. That's how I know he was a great father. I mean, if I had to judge him by one action in my 40-plus years, that was it, hands down, right?
Todd,
I should look at it.
On the front end, and number one, thank you for welcoming us to your city. And we have dinner tonight.
Yes, that we do.
What is Super Frico going to be?
Yes.
You
like
think about the Italian steakhouse, the traditional dinner that we went to last time.
Yep.
A scene straight out of the movie Casino where they actually shot part
Literally.
of it. Let's go 180 degrees the other way in terms of what this experience is going to be. Because look, I have to expose you to all the finer things that the desert has to offer. And the unique part about this is my wife hasn't actually eaten at Super Frico either. So I think she's as excited to go there to dine with you guys as anybody. But it will definitely test some of your sensibilities and expose you to some different scenes as far as what Vegas has to offer.
So over under with me keeping my shirt on in there then.
I mean, if you want to take your shirt off in there, I mean, by all means. Look, say if you don't want to wear a shirt the entire weekend that you're in Las Vegas or the entire 48 hours, I'm all for it.
Okay.
So I think it's something that you can adopt. It can be your signature move. And if they happen to see you stumbling around Circus Sports or the Heart of the D or any of other Derek Stevens' great properties here in downtown Las Vegas, the heart of the D, which is right down the street.
Okay.
I mean, that should be your move. I mean, we'll see Slay wander around 3 a.m. on Fremont Street with the performers or getting up there on the, I think it's 5 stories for Slotzilla, the world's largest zip line. You could be up there without a shirt, too, and really try and sell it.
Slotzilla.
Slotzilla.
So living in Vegas, how do you do these things?
Absolutely not.
You don't live the tourist life?
You just know about them.
That's like asking you guys, do you guys go to the honky tonks on Broadway when you decide you want to go out for a drink on Friday and Saturday night?
Oh, yeah, no. If you came to Nashville, we'd do that.
It's very different now.
Babs does it sometimes.
It's very. I mean, look, you guys have taken me to Tin Roof, I think, on every visit I go to. I mean, that becomes the OG spot.
That's an appetizer.
Since I've been out here for 20 years, the experience has changed quite a bit. I mean, I used to work on the Strip, so I would leave my office Friday night at the Paris at 6:30, 7 o'clock and go right into the heart of the action. You'd always have buddies that were coming to town or friends of friends that were there, and it was great because you kind of felt like the mayor to some extent. You had no idea who these people were from college that would reach out. They go, my friends of my sister, they're coming out here with a group of 8, 9 girls. Can you take them around and show them a good time? I go, sure. Who am I to say no to that kind of experience? Then again, it was a young man's game back then, and now I'm typically asleep by 9 o'clock at night most nights.
So Todd Fuhrman is the longest running guest on 3HL. This is year 18 for the show. Can you believe that?
You guys do not have a high standard for what it takes to be a longest running guest.
Well, I mean, Clay Travis gets the credit for bringing you on. I didn't know who you were.
That's all right. Clay may have brought me on, but you kept me here. And I think I've told that story before. The first time I ever met Clay, he came out to the sports book. I was still working at Caesars at the time.
Yeah.
And in typical Clay fashion, he hands me an autographed copy of his book before he even shook hands.
That was real.
And that probably should have told me all I needed to know about Clay going forward.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, here we are, a decade plus later.
So before we get into this matchup, and I don't know how sexy of a matchup this is nationally for bettors and viewers and all those things, but we'll get into all that. But I think this is a good opportunity for people that have heard you and your spots on our show to kind of dive into how you got to where you are in life. So you played hockey in college.
Yep.
We've told the story. You're on the back of the bus making bets. The coach finds out.
He was
no longer on the team.
I haven't heard this story.
You
Renegade.
He was none too happy about my extracurricular pursuits.
Okay, so tell the story since Babs hadn't heard it.
So, yeah, I mean, I kind of went out to the East Coast when I was 16. I left public high school. I went for my first 2 years of school to play prep hockey in New England and wanted to do something a little bit different, be challenged athletically and academically. So went out there, sight unseen, boarding school. I'm trying to think of the best movie to describe it. It wasn't quite like Dead Poet Society, but had a similar feel to it.
School Ties.
Well, I mean, School Ties hits a little closer to home.
I didn't even think about that part of it.
Than some of the movies. Ironically, for those folks that haven't seen School Ties, I can give a brief perspective on it. Brendan Fraser is a Jewish quarterback, gets recruited to a Catholic school and deals with a level of anti-Semitism. Thankfully, there were all of 7 Jewish kids in our undergrad, about 300.
Wow.
And I went to an Episcopalian boarding school, so I had to go to chapel 4 days a week.
Wow.
And I'm looking around Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays while the rest of the student body's praising Jesus. I'm going, yeah, this isn't exactly how I was raised. So it's a little bit different, an eye-opening experience on a variety of fronts. But truly an experience that formed me for where I've been able to get to professionally, athletically, and a variety of other fronts. Fast forward to a year off, I took a gap year between boarding school and college to play junior hockey up in Burlington, Vermont. Played hockey the majority of the time and worked as a barista actually at Starbucks.
Nice.
Monday through Thursday. So, I had to get up at 6:30 in the morning.
Wait, so you can do the little designs on the top of the coffee?
Yeah, I could. I used to be able on the caramel macchiato. I used to be able to put people's initials there. I mean, I used to make the best dry cappuccino you could anywhere in the state of Vermont. And the crazy part about it, we were the only Starbucks anywhere in town back then. We opened, I had to get there like 7 o'clock in the morning. And the most masculine part of my day is baking cookies and scones. So we're ready for the opening of the day at 9 o'clock. You had to fight through a few stigmas as a male barista in Vermont, as you can imagine. But I loved kind of balancing playing hockey there, ended up in college. And going to the gambling side of things, the coach that recruited me retired after my sophomore year. So we bring in this Well, before we get there, we bring in a head coach who was an assistant at Bowling Green at the time, a guy by the name of Buddy Powers, who's going to take over.
Bowling Green.
Slay will appreciate
Not Kentucky.
No, not Bowling Green, Kentucky.
That's
Bowling
the real
Green.
one.
He really thought Eddie George stayed close to home.
No,
by taking the Bowling Green.
Eddie George and Bowling Green, Northwest Ohio.
That made sense.
Slay will appreciate this, though. So you bring in a head coach there that wants to take over. He thinks it's going to be a little bit more laid back at the Division III level.
Yeah.
So he calls a team workout at 7 a.m. Little to say that team workout didn't go exactly as he drew it up. Us coming in hungover on the tail end of a bender, having been back at school for a week. He cited family medical issues why he resigned a week later, which I'm convinced had the only medical issues had to deal with the stress he was going to be under to take the Bad News Bears and try and restore the hockey program. So they go a different direction, bring in an assistant coach from Brown, who's now still actually the head coach at Wesleyan at this point, and he thinks he's going to mold us into a team that's capable of competing for a league championship and maybe making the playoffs. Little did he know when you have 14 seniors and you're going to try and change the culture. Good luck with that.
I already said, baby.
And, first road trip of the year. I'm on the back of the bus. It's a Friday night, and I think we're headed up to play Southern Miss and St. Anselm or Salem State. I can't remember what that road trip was. And Friday night back then was only Ivy League basketball. So you had a couple of programs that were there. I, of course, had better ties in the Ivy League since I knew some of the kids that were playing for those schools, haven't spent that much time in New England. I'm on the back of the bus. I have papers like this, a little notebook and a pen, and I'm calling my bookie back home, getting numbers, writing them all down. Head coach turns to
on the team bus.
Head coach turns to the starting goal. He goes, "What the hell is Fuhrman doing at the back of the bus?" And nobody thought anything of it. He goes, "Oh, he's calling his bookie college basketball started a couple weeks ago." So coach walks to the back of the bus, probably 15 rows back, takes his hand, knocks the papers out of my hand, and you know how guys at that age are, oohing and eyeing.
Yeah.
I get off the bus, coach, I need to have a word with you. Gets probably 6 inches away from me because you could do that back in those days. Now I think that constitutes assault. So he might have lost his job. He goes, "You know what? This kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated. You have to make a commitment to your gambling, your collegiate athletics. As a result, you're not going to dress tonight." And I was the backup then. I knew I wasn't going to play, so I didn't really care that much. And
You get these bets in.
Coach gets exactly. Coach gets about 15 feet away. I goes, "Coach, does that mean I can call on my bets for the night?" And he damn near lost it at that point. Some of my teammates within earshot are laughing. The assistant coach was a holdover from the previous regime. He bet football, so he of course didn't care. And I never saw the ice my entire junior year. Fast forward to the end of the year, I came in, tell the coach about a week after the season, "Coach, I don't think I'm a fit going forward as part of this organization. I just wanted to let you know that I'm effectively going to retire and pursue other opportunities my senior year." And so that was kind of how I knew that I was never going to make any money in the NHL other than being in the front office and chose gambling. The best part about all of that, though, was when I started CBS probably about a decade ago, my head coach at Wesleyan, who's still there, a guy by the name of Chris Potter, ends up becoming close with the head of CBS's digital division because their sons were playing on the same youth hockey team. And my boss at CBS tells him, "Hey, I actually have a kid that does gambling analysis for me who went to Wesleyan." And he tells him who he is. And he tells me to this day that my old coach is the blood drained out of his face because he hadn't kept up with my career. And he kind of said tongue-in-cheek, "I at least think that Todd chose the right career path because he wasn't going to the NHL."
So
That's so good.
you leave college, you move to Vegas?
I moved
with
here,
nothing?
I moved here about 9 months after I graduated. So I thought for all intents and purposes I was going to go work on Wall Street. My degree was in economics.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be either finance or I was going to go down to D.C. and work in the Inter-American Development Bank. Since most of my concentration at college was on international economics, specifically Latin America, decided that, hey, that wasn't going to be for me. Went home, bartended, kind of applied for jobs as a lot of college kids do. As luck would have it, my aunt then meets the president, who's now since passed away, of Caesar's Palace while they're on safari in Africa. The two of them commiserating because they can't get service on their BlackBerry. Lord only knows where they were. And she goes, "My nephew's really interested in gaming. Would you be willing to talk to him when we get back?" And he probably thought it was tongue-in-cheek. "Yeah, I'll talk to him." I send my resume in. I give him the full rundown. Here's what I've done. Here's what I've been associated. And get through the entire hiring process. They brought me out here for a full day, a battery of interviews and tests. And I'll never forget, it was a restaurant up at the top of the Forum Shops at Caesars with the regional presidents. And the question that they positioned for me, they go, "We want to start an all-ages casino where you have to be 21 plus, but we want to try and build in an adult entertainment component of it. How would you build that casino and how would you make it look so we could cater to families but still offer adult entertainment options as a result. I had no idea. These aren't case studies that you're looking at in college or anything along those lines. Apparently, I answered the question correctly. They offered me the job. Then they actually pulled the offer letter back, though, because I'd been doing work for a couple of offshore books and collecting affiliate money back then. So I pretty much had to call their legal department and go, look, here's the money. Here are my bank statements. I've made absolutely nothing. I'm happy to cut ties. Can I still get the job as an entry-level financial analyst? And I moved out here right about the early March of 2006. Rented a room in a house with people that I had no idea who they were because it was all I could really afford.
Wow.
And the best part about all that is I actually started, after I got through orientation on the job, the first week of the NCAA tournament. So guess what I was doing in my cubicle when I should have been working? I'm streaming games on March Madness on demand. And there were a couple of the other analysts who goes, this kid's not going to make it. There's no chance he's going to make it. But, count my lucky stars that I had an opportunity to come out here at a young age, had enough self-control and discipline not to get sucked into some of the pitfalls that can be out here, and learn the casino business kind of from the ground floor, from gaming analytics to the race and sports side, budgeting, finance, and could go through pretty much everywhere on a casino floor and tell you how to maximize some of the revenue generating potential that you could find from a pool like this to every slot machine, and why they have roulette wheels where they do and why they set video poker up accordingly.
So you end up setting lines for Caesar Sports. How does that all work out here? Do you guys communicate casino to casino, or are the lines just placed building by building?
So the industry has changed quite a bit. I didn't start directly in sports when I began with Caesars. I kind of spent my Saturdays and Sundays shadowing my then mentor at the time, a gentleman who's still in the industry named Chuck Esposito. And he goes, I just kind of want you to watch and observe how things work. We didn't have mobile apps, so everybody that wanted to place a bet had to come in and make their bet over the counter.
With the little pencil and the...
with whether they're the parlay cards or the betting index numbers that you'll see on the sheet that nobody knows now. You had to come up, and if I wanted to bet off this sheet, Seahawks first half, can I get 11.09 for $11 to win 10? So I didn't know team names. You knew betting numbers, and that used to be a running joke. So I gradually got to learn the industry, and you quickly understand that every dollar that comes over the counter isn't created equally from a sports betting perspective. That if I respect Dawn's opinion and Dawn wants to bet $1,000 on something, I may move the number based on her bet and her opinion. Where Slay comes up, he wants to bet 10,000. I don't give a damn. I'll go, is that all you want is 10,000? You want 20, 30, 40, or 50? I'm happy to take whatever you can. But you learn who the customers whose opinions you respect are, and it was a much different dynamic. The challenges back then is we were the central hub for all of Caesars Entertainment at Caesars Palace. So if you went into Bally's or Paris, you went into the Rio or some of our other properties, they'd pick up the phone and go, I have Brent Doherty here. He wants to bet X dollars. Hold on a second. I'd pull up all the liability. I go, yep, he's good. He can take this. If he wants a little bit more, okay. Or I would walk back a particular bet type based on the action I needed. The industry has evolved now, where back then it was pretty much getting all of your numbers, either doing it in-house or getting some of your stuff from the offshore books that would come up earlier. But we weren't really big believers in originating. There was no reason to try and be the first up with some of the numbers.
Okay.
I like to be more aggressive with some of the NFL holds that I go, you know what, I don't think the Tennessee Titans have a chance. Everybody else in markets at 75 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Let's run the number out to 100. If we take a bet, I'll come back down. But if we didn't take a bet, I realized, okay, I can offer that number. I can drift it even further to figure out what that price discovery looked like around some of those teams. And the industry has evolved quite a bit. I mean, the betting menus are much more extensive than what they ever were in the past. But the Super Bowl is the one activity that really hasn't changed, because we would offer a myriad of these props. You would just have to wait a little bit later in the week than being able to bet them on Tuesday or Wednesday before the buy even set up.
Wow. So that experience taught you, with regard to what you do now. So, when you see point spreads come out, you already have numbers in your head, and you're like, that number's off. I'm betting it this way.
I do my own power numbers that I don't bet blindly off of by any stretch. I have a network of people.
Who would bet blindly like that?
I mean, if you're a math guy and you trust some of your math models, sometimes you get paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
So you'll spit out your numbers, and if it's a college basketball game and Florida's playing Alabama, and your numbers say Florida should be a 9-point favorite, and the betting market opens at 6.5. You don't care about injuries. You don't care about anything else. You bet it and forget it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the numbers move in your favor. Sometimes they don't. But for me, I kind of used my numbers as a baseline, then dug into it and tried to figure out where I might ultimately have an edge. But those were some of the best conversations I ever had with the sharpest and most sophisticated bettors that would come in and try and bet with us as soon as numbers came up, or they'd be looking for different angles, and you never knew if they were betting for themselves, if they were moving money for some of the bigger outfits that were there, and you could gradually figure out that, hey, Dawn's got a respected opinion. She would come in, and within 15 minutes, the game that she bet, it would be lighting up on the screen. MGM would move, stations would move.
Dude.
FanDuels and DraftKings then didn't exist, and everybody would go.
That's what happens now with you.
Yeah, like people
Depends on the spots.
This is funny because it's a local show, right, in Nashville, Tennessee, but people know when you're on because you're on at the same time every week. And, like, you'll give us a play that you haven't even put out there yet.
Yeah.
And when we go into FanDuel, like, live, she laughs at us all the time. But it changes the second you put it out
You guys
there.
used to listen to the podcast, and that was the biggest frustration
gosh.
at the board.
Yeah.
Is that we would record, and granted, we didn't ever release where our games were going, but within 5 minutes, when we would give out a first half total in a college football game, the numbers would go, and that somehow the listeners would get angry at us that they couldn't get the number. I go, well, if we're moving the market, that's the ultimate sign of respect.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it gets you between a rock and a hard place. And we'll peel back the curtain here, Slay. Don't let Brent fool you. He might text me, hey, who you guys going to give out? Who'd you guys give out as the best bet? So he could get the bet in before it went public. So that may have been information he may or may not have kept to himself.
Yeah, sometimes
That's never happened before. Ever. All right, Todd Fuhrman with us live as we broadcast from Circa Sports Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. When we come back, we'll break down this game. 4.5 is the line. Seahawks, the better team. We'll see what Todd thinks about it. Get some prop bets for you. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? Big Slay coming to you with BrentwoodJewelry.com. That's where you need to head over to and get taken care of. Why? Because you know what's right around the corner. Valentine's Day is there. So if you're looking for anything that, you know, can shine and, you know, make somebody's heart smile or their facial expression change into smiling, especially right there in the Nashville area, man. A lot of ice and things going on, getting people stuck in the house. You got an opportunity to warm, yes, the hearts of people. All you got to do is go to Brentwood Jewelry. That is 7012 Church Street East, located right there off of Franklin Road. Brentwood Jewelry, the exceptional style, exceptional deals being brought to you every single time by the Momley family. Go in there and holler at Brandon. Tell them Big Slay sent you in there to holler at them and watch you get taken care of. When it comes to watches, they are the best. When it comes to pre-owned Rolexes, vintage and current, it does not matter. They're going to wrap it around your wrist and it's going to be glistening, I promise you. Priceless heirlooms that you want to get transformed back into that special gift, they also do that. Whether it be earrings, whatever it is, you got it. They can take care of it. It's BrentwoodJewelry.com.
3HL 104.5, The Zone, Monday edition. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in Sin City in Las Vegas. We are broadcasting live from Circa Sports at Stadium Club. We were in a cabana, and I'm trying
Pink
not.
Pony Club is jamming in the background. I mean, what more do we want?
I'm trying not to make y'all feel bad because we would have put you in our suitcase if we could. That was for sure. 3HL is powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. Visiting with Todd Fuhrman. And so Todd, where do you put this Super Bowl in terms of interest level down here? In Nashville, you've got the Vrabel storyline, obviously. Right. Outside of that, there's not a lot.
It's not going to move the needle here from an overall intrigue standpoint. I think from proximity for us to Los Angeles, the Rams would have been the best storyline to try and get them here, more so than the Seahawks or any of the potential in the NFC. AFC-wise, I don't know if there was a team that was really going to move the needle anywhere in the AFC playoff picture. Look, getting the Patriots there is definitely better than the Houston Texans. The Denver Broncos with Sean Payton and Bo Nix, I mean, that really wasn't going to fundamentally change things. Yeah. So I guess it's the lesser of two evils to be able to get New England here, and knowing how passionate a fan base it is, that if folks can't get out to Santa Clara for the game, that maybe they'll want to come here to do everything they can to get out of some of the single-degree temperatures they've been dealing with in the Northeast.
Yeah, they're having a big game bash here at Stadium Swim for sure. As we talk with you about this all the time, as the season goes on, the numbers get a little more
efficient.
Yes, Good word. Thank you. So where are we with this 4.5 point spread with Seahawks?
So you had a couple of national books open this game as low as 3.5. That was the look-ahead price going into Championship Sunday. A couple books went, you know what, the hell with it. We're going to reopen right at 3.5 and see where the market takes us. And lo and behold, the first wave of bets came in. We're on the favorite. You had other books that opened up in that 4.5, 5 range, a very prominent offshore book as high as 5.5. You haven't seen much in the way of movement onto a key number. And at 5.5, you did have some folks looking to bet the Patriots +6 and lay a little bit of a adjusted price tag to get to that secondary key number. We had a couple books get as low as 4. That number didn't last. So this is the definition of truly efficient at this point to generate two-way action. But what's fascinating about it is I think you're going to get the majority of recreational bettors that have questions about New England, more so than they do the Seahawks. They've seen Seattle look kind of like the dominant force in their 2 wins to get to this point of the season. Meanwhile, New England offensively leaves a little bit to be desired. Through the 3 playoff wins that they have, they've scored the fewest points of any team in 3 consecutive playoff wins, going all the way back to the late 60s. But that should come with the caveat. You look at the defenses they faced, all top 5, and 2 of the 3 games, tough to move the football in inclement weather. Freezing rain at home against the Houston Texans in that stop unit, and then the blizzard-like conditions that they encountered in the second half against Denver. So it's a little bit of glass half full depending on what storyline you want to spin and who you want to make a case for being a favorite that wins in a runaway or an underdog that can keep this game inside the number.
Todd, Father, I'm looking at it, man, and I'm one of them guys that, I ain't got no analytics and all that, but I'm going by eye test.
Wait, this is where's the breaking news sound effect? Hit the breaking news sound effect. Slay does not use analytics to arrive at his sports bets. You learn something new every day,
but
ladies
guess what, though, Todd, Father?
This is Slay Casino.
Yeah, what I do use, though, for the parlay is
gut, intuition, eye test.
Great stories.
Great.
And I'm going to tell you one. I'm going to tell you a great story. Cinderella was a great story until she ran and had to go get back into the chariot to take off, and it turned into a pumpkin. This is who I feel the New England Patriots are.
Not Sam Darnold's not a Cinderella story?
That defense is too – if I had to take one superstar in this game, I would say Seattle's defense is the superstar.
I think they're the best unit of the 4 if you look at offenses and defenses. I wouldn't argue that with you.
So does the New England – I'm asking that because the New England Patriots turn into the pumpkin. Like, the schedule that they faced as far as having not a landslide into getting in there, but you didn't face –
it was favorable.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right, boom. You get to this point and you're facing a juggernaut. We've seen what Seattle has done moving through the playoffs. We've seen what New England's done. The element's been in their favor. A little bit of luck here with quarterbacks going down. You know what I'm saying? And in this situation, it feels like this is the rah-rah speech can go no longer with Vrabel motivating his guys to run through the wall when you run up against an unmovable force.
I'm not sure it's necessarily just motivation. If the Patriots are going to have a puncher's chance, I like the fact that the Patriots coaching staff, more than the Seahawks, can lean into their experience.
Okay.
Mike Vrabel's been on this stage before, not as a head coach, but as a player, and knows what it takes to kind of harness those emotions and make sure you're peaking on game day and not being overwhelmed by some of the media responsibilities, the fanfare, the buzz around it. Josh McDaniels the same way, and that Patriots culture above all else. For the Seahawks, they've dealt with some distractions in their own right. I mean, we know Clint Kubiak is, barring some unforeseen circumstance, is going to be the next head coach out here in Las Vegas, taking over for the Raiders, working with Fernando Mendoza. Seattle offensively, have we seen the Seattle offense get tested in the playoffs?
Right.
I mean, you can make the case that defensively this is going to be their stiffest opposition. The 49ers were a mash unit. They'd never really had to get out of their comfort zone. They played from a positive game state since the opening kickoff that Rashid Shaheed returned. And then even against the Los Angeles Rams, it was a familiar foe, one that had a lot of questions that they couldn't answer in their defensive backfield. The Rams made adjustments, did a good job bottling up Kenneth Walker after the first quarter, and you saw the Seahawks kind of have a few broken plays. The JSN touchdown before the end of the half changed that dynamic. They get the fortuitous bounce on the Xavier Smith botch punt return, where it looked like the Rams were going to have all of the momentum. So I think there are so many different ways to kind of unpack the different elements that are here, but I do think for the first time this postseason that Drake May is going to have to produce at an MVP level. They're not going to necessarily be able to be one-dimensional and try and win a game 10-7 the same way that I think Seattle would feel comfortable in that environment. So let's see what we get from...
Oh,
we got a coach.
There you go.
So sorry, Todd, to cut you off there. The Adam Schefter's reporting that the Titans are hiring Gus Bradley as their defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Gus Bradley as DC.
Todd, what do you think about that?
We expected that to come.
It won't move the needle for me.
Obviously the head
way.
coach is calling the defense anyway.
That's the whole thing. I mean, Robert Saleh knows he's going to be in charge of defensive responsibilities. I think getting the offensive coordinator hire was more important, and I'll give the Titans credit for that. But, yeah, going back to the game, I mean, do we trust Sam Darnold? Do we trust Drake May? Seattle's defense, we give them the nod. But it's also Patriots defense. It's broken tendency over the last couple of weeks as well, blitzing at a higher rate, and that's where Sam Darnold's been at its most vulnerable. So it's an interesting game because there are so many layers to peel back, and you don't have that pedigree or an accomplished quarterback that's been on a stage like this in the past that can lean into his experience level once the live bullets start flying, and he faces a little bit of adversity that he hasn't seen during the regular season or the postseason.
So I'm looking at this really long list of Seahawks offensive and special teams player props. Obviously, a whole lot of Sam Darnold on this. Yes, a whole lot of Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp numbers in here. Is there anything you like from the Seahawks offensive player prop side?
Kenneth Walker has been a fade for us across the board. We bet Kenneth Walker under his rushing yards as high as 82.5. The cutoff for me was at 73.5, and I think there's still some 73.5s out there. I kind of have him projected in the high 60s, and we doubled down with Kenneth Walker, not just his rushing yards, but also bet his total yard accumulation. So rushing and receiving the combination under 102.5, and that was good down into the high 90s. So he has kind of been the fade for us when you look at the skill position players for the Seahawks, and as a result, I think George Holani has a little bit of opportunity and upside to bet his receptions over 1.5. The backup running back out of Boise State. If you look at the routes run last week against the Los Angeles Rams, Kenneth Walker ran 15 routes. George Holani ran 14. Holani was the running back that was out there in the 2-minute drill. And the Seahawks seem to believe that he is much more equipped to handle pass protection. So if we're going to work under the auspice that the Patriots are going to blitz at a higher rate than what we've seen during the regular season, Holani may find his snap share tick up a decent amount, and I think his over 1.5 receptions makes a world of sense as well.
Todd Fuhrman with us on 3HL.
Kenneth Walker rushing yards at the Circa Sports.
That's where
77.5.
That's where it opened. It's not 77.5 anymore.
No. Okay.
So unfortunately, the sheets you guys are looking at, those are all the opening numbers. If you want to see what the market currently is, they'll be posted on their boards or on their mobile app.
CircaSports.com.
I definitely got a market number for you, Top Father, and I know I'm gonna make the needle jump. I'm gonna make the lines
by the
move
way,
on this.
Just for the record, next time the Circa invites you guys out, just send Slay to the Mint in Kentucky. He can do the show from there, and the two of you guys should come out to Las Vegas.
I'd still take my shirt off.
By the way,
it would shock me if you want to run around that parking lot in a tank top, shorts, and flip flops in 8-degree weather. I think that would be more newsworthy than you doing it out here when it's 75 and sunny without a cloud in the sky.
By the way, just to clear that up, because people are asking us, why are we in Vegas with the Super Bowl in San Francisco? Francisco. Circuit Sports, one of our sponsors for our radio broadcast, which will air Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from San Francisco. But they said on the front end, come do a couple shows down here. And we said, why not?
Yeah, well, you're going to twist the arm to do it. I mean, we would. But this is what I want to go on and hit you with, Top. I'll put this one right here in your pipe and don't light it yet.
Okay. This is what we call a tease in the business, right?
Yeah.
All right.
MVP of the Super Bowl. Jackson Smith and Jigba. And it ain't even going to be close. It's going to be a runaway.
Not a winning quarterback.
No. It ain't even
No, it's going to be Sam Darnold.
And I'm going to tell you why. If you think back to what San Francisco was able to do with Christian McCaffrey and Juwan Jennings, I almost forgot the ball, but Juwan Jennings, it was going to be one of them if they made it to the Super Bowl. That was crushing his little soul right there. But I got it. Hey, the way they moved him around in the backfield and everything, not to get bumped coming off the line, man, dude is going to be a problem. We looking at a star. I mean, me personally, I think the next superstar coming in this league, man, dude is phenomenal.
He's ridiculous, yeah.
So I got to save my thoughts till after the break. I save my thoughts till after the break.
I said don't light it yet.
All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll get Todd's thoughts on Slay's Casino bets. Coming up, 3HL powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, SpringHillAC.com. We're glad to be at Stadium Swim at Circus Sports in Vegas. It's a great place to watch any sporting event, and we'll be right back. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. United Structural Systems is a foundation repair and waterproofing company that has served the Middle Tennessee area since 1994. USSTN.com is how you get in touch with these guys. And they ask the question, what comes to mind when you think of home? Maybe it's meals around the kitchen table, movie nights on the couch. Home is where life happens, and at the center of it all is your home's foundation. At USS, they understand how important that foundation is to your life and how much trust it takes when you need help protecting it. Now, January is a wet month. We've all experienced that into February. So when water starts showing up where it doesn't belong in your basement or your crawl space, it can quickly become a serious problem. And figuring out where the water is coming from, that can be a nightmare. It can be from poor drainage, small cracks in your foundation walls, or even a hidden plumbing leak. But the USS team of experts will find out why your basement or crawl space is wet and then create a customized plan to fix it the right way and with a lifetime warranty. At United Structural Systems, they're more than a team of problem solvers. They're your neighbors. Visit USSTN.com to learn more. Call 615-488-7855. At USS, we're more than waterproofing. We're committed. We're trustworthy. We are USS. USSTN.com. 3HL 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live in Las Vegas in advance of our trip to San Francisco. Radio Row coverage coming up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we'll tell you more about that moving forward. But circusports.com is the website. Stadium Swim, this is a good place to get away from that cold, I'll tell you that.
Does starting the trip in Vegas and finishing in Santa Clara make the actual end result anticlimactic in the grand scheme of things?
Well,
like you're going out on top trying to throw 105 in the first inning, and by the time you're trying to close out the game in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, you're throwing about 34 miles an hour, just nothing but meatballs up there.
We had plans
That's
of
so
being
true.
a starting pitcher, but, we're relegated to the bullpen. We get, 3 pitches here and there.
That happens. Just come in throwing gas like Slay does.
But
right.
the funny thing
right.
about that is we will never see Santa Clara. During this trip,
It's about 40 or 50 miles away, the convention center up there?
Yeah.
LA is going to be similar next year as well, I would think. There's not a whole lot out by SoFi.
Well, we were going to go, and
That's
then
what we did 2 years ago,
yeah,
LA,
and
right?
then,
Yeah.
And then Babs decided that there was a power grid that was a little too close to the stadium over there. So
I mean, look,
That's
you
right.
have to protect those tenants. It's another excuse why Slay's not going to be running the 40-yard dash anytime
I'm telling
soon.
You,
That's
they're
right.
breaking me down slowly,
The
man.
electromagnetic
Do you buy
field.
into it?
Secretly buying me.
I think it's always fascinating to trying to dig in everything. And you guys know athletes, like anything else. They want things to be perfect. They want to rule out any variable. And sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire for a team that's been plagued by injuries over and over again.
well done with electricity, Jack.
I usually point my finger at the strength and conditioning coaches first and foremost.
Yeah.
So this kind of absolves them. But look, the 49ers are going to look into it. And if they can figure out why they're not keeping their team healthy with a chance to win the Super Bowl, I understand completely why they're going after. And this coming from somebody who spends every Monday morning in physical therapy trying to rehab himself.
So Slay asked you about JSN. Before we get to that, Babs had a question during the break that I think a lot of people listening might wonder the same thing.
Yes, so you were talking about Kenneth Walker, and you said we're fading him across the board, which means?
The best way to try and equate that from a financial parlance terminology vernacular is selling. We're selling Kenneth Walker in the market. So fading, selling, betting against.
Betting against.
His production
There you go.
in the game. And more often than not, when we go through our handicaps in games like this that have such an extensive player prop, you're trying to figure out how the game will go, or at least speculating, and looking for certain players that you don't think are going to be as big a part of the game plan as what odds makers think. And Kenneth Walker's a player that you brought up, Brent, during the break that we've looked to bet against since Zach Charbonnet's injury. Odds makers are trying to allocate where the rushing yardage that normally would have been on Charbonnet's plate and the snaps are going to go. And if we feel we have an edge, that's where we're going to take full advantage. And in this instance, we think Kenneth Walker doesn't necessarily absorb all the opportunity from Zach Charbonnet. So as those numbers are inflated, it's our job to tell the bookmakers that you may be a little bit off base.
So when you say we, I just have this mental image of like this big Todd Fuhrman sports gambling syndicate where everybody's like in a factory somewhere
Like
below,
a mob?
below ground. And
It's not nearly as extensive as you would think. So much of the sports gambling stuff is relatively siloed. I mean, I'll talk to guys and consolidate information, and I'm the conduit to another guy who talks to a group of individuals, and it's kind of a dog-eat-dog world that if we're all aligned on certain things, it's not like there's one giant conference call and 100 of us can move on and bet at the same time. We decide, hey, look, we're going on this. You have 4 minutes, and you try and move as quietly and discreetly as you can before it hits some of the mainstream and larger books that are out there.
Well,
so there's a method to the madness.
Yeah, and to your point, when you had Bet the Board podcast, I would listen to the podcast, and then I would see insert random national guy here have the same exact thing.
Funny how that seemed to work, huh? I mean, that used to be the running joke when we would talk to sponsors and advertisers. They'd always want our demographic numbers in terms of our top 10 cities and where Bet the Board was downloaded. And it's the usual suspects. I mean, Chicago, where I have done local radio and grew up. Nashville was always one of our stronger bases.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere typically between 5 and 8, it'd be Bristol, Connecticut. I go, wonder what goes on in Bristol in terms of why it has such high listenership numbers there.
That's
then you'd
amazing.
flip on College Game Day on Saturday, and I don't know Reese Davis. I go, that's an interesting nugget that Reese had that he wanted to share. I wonder where he would have picked that up from different channels, knowing that a lot of the data that we had was proprietary from Payne and Brad Powers.
Yes.
But that's how things work.
Well,
Imitation is the greatest sign of flattery, and if only those folks had shared the podcast or let people know where they could have gone and listened, we would have been able to shorten some of their workload for them this past football season.
And the beautiful thing about the Bet the Board podcast, and we've said this for years, even if you're not into sports gambling, and that's why one of the reasons we love your spots on 3HL is that even if you're not gambling on sports, you are so informationally driven and vital to watching games that I think it's must listen to.
Just about the matchup.
It's matchups and analytics,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things, not to go on a soapbox before we'll come full circle to Slay's question about MVP and the case he made for JSN, that people look at gambling and they automatically assume picks. So we've seen the trend in the industry. I know who also cuts checks for Dawn and Slay, so I have to be careful what I say in that regard, and see some of the quote-unquote gambling talent that they'll parade out there to try and make picks. And it frustrates me because I know what it takes. People are going to judge you in a very binary thought process that you're either right because the bet won or you're wrong because the bet lost. But there's a lot more that goes into it and the storylines that you can weave together and just create a difference in perspective in terms of how we look at the games versus former players and former coaches who automatically assume that, oh, they used to play the game. They know exactly how things are going to play out.
Yeah.
And I won't speak for Slay, but I think over the years he's developed an appreciation for what we do.
No question.
We bust chops as much as anything else. And where I feel that information is best utilized is when Slay sees something from an X's and O's standpoint that I don't feel the betting market has picked up. I show value in a number there. And if you can combine those forces, and it doesn't happen all the time, that's where you get some of the best bets and the opportunities that are there before you try and factor in the information stream and, having the better information and contacts, regardless of the sport that's there. Going back to your case for JSN for MVP to play devil's advocate.
because most of the time it's quarterback, right? Winning quarterback.
Yeah, it's a big part. But I think one of the other areas that we can figure out from the way it's changed around the MVP narrative for JSN to win, what would he have to put up for a stat line that he would win over Sam Darnold? I think that's the biggest question when you try and make the case for a wide receiver over a quarterback. Running back, it's a little bit more black and white. Running back goes for 100 yards, has a couple of touchdowns. It takes away from the quarterback, and he can produce. But for the wide receiver to do so, it's the quarterback's got to play some hand in it.
Right.
So what kind of stat line does JSN have to have for him to win it and not Sam Darnold?
I would say flirting right around 200 yards. And this is what you got to understand. There's definitely going to be 10 catches or more, but the yak yards for him because of moving him around in the backfield and everything, getting the ball out to him quick, and him being able to bust off 30, 40-yard runs, you know what I'm saying, after the play. Kind of like what Shaheed would do, but he's just that Swiss Army knife.
Because I don't I don't disagree with JSN and the ascent that he's going to have in terms of being a superstar in this league. We saw that potential on full display in the Rose Bowl at Ohio State, and I think they're just now tapping into it. And the fact he's able to do this without a true running mate in Seattle makes it even that much more remarkable. The biggest question becomes to your point, if he goes for 200 yards, then I think he's got an opportunity, knowing that I think Jerry Rice is the only wide receiver in history that's had more than 200 yards. And Sam Darnold probably has to throw a couple of interceptions.
Yeah,
I think that would help as well, that if JSN finishes the stat line of 8 catches, 110 yards, and a pair of touchdowns, that he's able to get there. So it is interesting. The MVP market for me is always tough. I do think, given the way we've discussed it in the past, that it was always a proxy with the winning team's quarterback to the money line, that there's a little bit of a disconnect, knowing that Seattle is right around a $2 plus favorite there, but Sam Darnold is better than even money to win MVP, whereas all those years, you look at the Chiefs' money line, it just happened to mirror what Patrick Mahomes' price was to win MVP. And on the Patriots side, Drake May's MVP price, only a shade better than the money line, and maybe it's Ramondre Stevenson. So going to be interesting because it probably does appear to be a quarterback or a JSN type. Given my stance on Kenneth Walker, if he wins MVP, I'm going to have other fish to fry, and I may be looking for secondary employment beginning next Monday.
So 2022 Cooper Kupp MVP of the Super Bowl, 8 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns, but it included the game-winning 1-yard score.
And that was a 13-3 game, right?
23-20.
Okay, 23-20.
Yep. 2022.
Oh, okay, that was against the Bengals. So, those are the kind of things that are always interesting when you're trying to make a case. I mean, the voting process is always interesting because I think the votes have to be submitted around the 2-minute warning. So if anybody does something remarkable in the final 2 minutes, it does change the way that people view it. But it's one of those things that is fascinating. I mean, anytime you're betting into a market that involves outside influence, and when I say outside influence, human voters, whether it's the MVP of the Super Bowl or all the awards that get handed out on Thursday night, it's as much about storyline that has to be created. And I wonder if that works for or against Sam Darnold, knowing the trials and tribulations he's gone through as a former top 5 pick to get this opportunity, and suddenly, he's no longer seeing ghosts against the Patriots defense. He's become Bill Murray in Ghostbusters, and he's vanquished the ghosts.
So to your point, obviously, if like the quarterback's going to have a great day if your wide receiver has a great day. So Matthew Stafford was the quarterback then, right? 26 of 40, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
So there are the picks, and 2 of the touchdowns went to Cooper Kupp. So it makes the perfect case. You need a few more things to go right for a skill position player, especially if you're looking at a wide receiver.
I feel like the game-winning kind of seals it too, right?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Like Odell Beckham
all correlated to the money line.
Yeah.
So are there any other bets that you feel strongly about?
The Helani stuff I mentioned. Kenneth Walker under did take a very smaller bet, which it won't be that much fun for people to watch. The New England Patriots to punt on their opening drive and right around to pick them. So you hope they go 3 and out. Ideally, you hope the Seahawks get the ball. They go 3 and out. It's a punt and pin because this day and age, you don't want to drive to start at the 35-yard line because you're only really given a 30-yard window. So that does factor in to try and do that. The other variation of that is to bet New England a punt before they score. Was widely available right around plus $1.05. Another interesting number there, and these are all unders, as you guys know all too well, other than the Helani stuff. Total rushing yards in the game between the two teams combined, we bet under 229.5. It's down right around 217.5. It's not available everywhere, but I still think there's a path given how stingy these run defenses have been and what may end up being 2 offensive coordinators that are going to be forced to break tendency. I hope selfishly that they decide to run into a brick wall and they get that clock going. But we have seen with the Patriots in the past, they typically start these games extremely slow and they kind of ease into it because while it may be cliche, you don't win a Super Bowl in the first quarter, but you sure can lose it with some poor decision making and a costly turnover or 2.
What about National Anthem? You in on that?
That's actually been bet under a touch from 222, I think is where it opened, so into the high teens. Not a market that I've gotten involved in. It's gotten harder to figure out how that will get graded. And used to have some direct lines when it was a country music star that was singing the national anthem. Those used to be some of our better bets. Would get in on that early on before the rehearsals would take place at the actual stadium venue. So a fun bet to make, but not one that I'm running to try and get involved in just because you don't always trust. You just don't trust the legitimacy of how that thing is going to get timed. And Gatorade color. We've had a couple Super Bowls lately where they haven't even dumped Gatorade. I mean, you almost need a blowout for the Gatorade to get dumped. I mean, if a game is decided on the final drive, you may not even get a Gatorade dump that's caught on camera. And the NFL is very particular about the color of Gatorade that gets dumped on the winning team. So if it's the Patriots with white jerseys, you're probably not going to want to bet the blue Gatorade. And on the other side for the Seahawks, you can probably feel comfortable with darker colors.
Was it Reba McEntire a few years ago that, she started the last note, 11 seconds before, and it would have been under, but she just kept it going? That's
the whole thing. It's how long you want to hold on to that home of the brave, and if you want to try and sing that final verse a couple of times.
Yeah.
So it's one of the more fun bets to try and monitor and watch, and people will be tweeting out their official or unofficial times. But you don't have a black and white answer. And for me, if it can't be determined on the football field, it's not going to get a big bet for me by any stretch.
Todd, great to see you, man.
Hey,
thanks for coming out.
Always a pleasure. Appreciate you guys having me. I'll let you guys reimburse me for the parking in the Garage Mahal, or I can recoup that with a cocktail at dinner a couple hours from now. So.
I gave you the MVP. That's reimbursement right there.
That's actually got to win though. Otherwise, it's just an additional loss and another line item I have to add to my P&L.
Super Freako coming up later. He is Todd Fuhrman at Todd Fuhrman on X. Where can people find your content?
We'll be doing a lot of stuff with CBS this week. I'll actually be on CBS Sports HQ later today, breaking down the NHL card. I think there's 4 or 5 games that we're going to cover there.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit of Super Bowl. Should be on Sunday, schedule to be determined. We break down some of those final player props. But, yeah, CBS is going to be the best spot. And then we want to go into a little bit of hibernation mode other than with you guys for the next couple weeks as we dive into Olympic hockey. I know, Brent, you'll be looking forward to that because you'll have puck drop of some of those games in the early hours. So you can go from the Australian Open to watching Team Italy, Team France at about 4 o'clock in the morning.
So NHL winners tonight?
The only thing I bet tonight in the NHL, a little bit of Ottawa. The numbers kind of run some. It's out to, I think, minus $1.15. I laid minus 0.2, so still kind of in range, but I'm a little bit price sensitive. Was closest, but did not bet under in the Avalanche Red Wings game at 6.5, and looked at the Preds total actually going over. Don't love what I've seen from the team defensively, but they've been able to fill it up a little bit more offensively.
Speaking of, can you be the general manager?
Look,
Barry Trotz stepping down.
If you guys want to put in a good word for me, did you guys get any more information on why Trotz is stepping down? I know he said immediately
I
that
think
it wasn't
he hates
health.
losing.
It wasn't health. that it wasn't health related or anything else. But it was interesting to see Trotz make that announcement now. Said he'll stay in that position until they find a suitable replacement.
That's right.
So.
Well, we've got the replacement. He's Todd Fuhrman. Thank you, Todd.
I'm ready. I'm ready to try and revive Bridgestone.
Yep.
Nothing better than electric atmosphere
That's
there
right.
in early June.
Thank you for the 75 degrees. We'll be right back. 3HL broadcasting live from Circus Sports Stadium Swim. 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon from the Circus Sports of the Mid Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. In some Nashville sports news, the Titans are hiring Gus Bradley to be their new defensive coordinator. Bradley was the DC in Indy and was a defensive assistant last year with the 49ers. Also, Predators general manager Barry Trotz is stepping down from his role. Trotz had been the GM since 2023 and was the head coach of the Preds from 1998 to 2014. We finally wrapped up the head coaching cycle in the NFL as well. Over the weekend, multiple sources reported that the Cardinals are hiring Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur to be their new head man, and the Las Vegas Raiders are expected to hire Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak after the Super Bowl. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans of Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5, this home Monday edition. Appreciate you being with us. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in Las Vegas. Hope you're doing well. We wish we could have brought you here. This is the week-long adventure for us to cover the big game for you this week. We'll be in San Francisco Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 104.5 The Zone, going to the Bay to broadcast live from Radio Row. And we'll have all kinds of interviews, including one that's, I don't know how Dawn's going to handle this on Friday. Bo Jackson's scheduled to be with us.
I am level 80.
Did you pack your volleyball 34 jersey
No,
that you wore
because it's at
of
my
him?
parents' house.
Oh,
I know, and I didn't have enough time to be like, hey, Mom, send it to me so I can bring it to Showboat.
All your cool stuff is at your parents' house, like your dolls that you used to ventriloquist with.
Yep.
They just wander through the house in the middle of the night
Can you
chattering.
imagine Hadley with those dolls now?
Oh, my gosh.
She would be entertaining.
She would
Boy.
love it.
She
She told me she wanted to do theater camp this summer.
That's my girl.
Theater
She would do the
That's
dolls,
what I'm
but
talking about.
she would just be talking and acting like she wasn't. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Oh, hey, shout out, by the way, to Williamson County parents because school is back in tomorrow.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, congratulations, parents.
I just wrote Leron. He said, dang it. He really ready to go
You're
back
back,
to school.
kiddos.
Yeah, he tired of being cooped up in the house.
That's right.
So what did Travis and Hadley do today? Do you know?
Well, Mr. Babs worked, so we had a babysitter for Hadley.
Okay.
Hadley's babysitter just spoiled her rotten. They went to Chuck E. Cheese's.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
her second visit to Chuck E. Cheese.
I know, and I just heard she said she got to meet Chucky,
See,
Oh.
and he gave her a hug,
come on,
Yeah,
man.
I don't know about
and
Chucky.
she got a picture with him.
Yeah, she's showing out.
And then she had
Going out on
McDonald's for lunch. She's just, Mama's living her
balling.
best life at the pool. Baby Babs living her best life with the babysitter. And poor Mr. Babs is just in,
So
9 to 5 hell.
before the show, I got in the pool. It's heated, and I got in the pool, and I asked Babs. She was laying out, and she was like, it looked like, dead, really. And
Damn right.
I was like, Babs, you know what time it is? She goes, 6 minutes to air. I'm like, okay.
I asked
Time to
Steph,
get
I was like,
ready.
hey, do you think I can take a vacation day today?
Yeah.
Wait, it doesn't work that way, does it?
No, we
So
got here.
the reason why we're in Vegas is our Radio Row coverage Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is sponsored by Circus Sports, and Circus Sports asked us, hey, do y'all want to come down here Monday and Tuesday and do shows from a cabana, and it's 75 degrees with no clouds in the sky with heated pools. We're like, and a 10,000 square foot video board where we're watching indoor golf and basketball and all kinds of things.
Soccer.
And so we were like, yeah, we'll do that.
Wedding lives.
Don't twist our arm.
Yeah,
we're good.
Why would we? We need to be in the sun. Anyway.
Yes, and so our coverage Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, presented by Circus Sports and Durastar. For more information on this event or to hear all of our special conversations on demand, visit 1045thezone.com. Always enjoy Todd Fuhrman being on. Love having him live on set. You know what I mean? And I think
It reminds you of how ridiculously brilliant he
Man.
is.
It-
He
it's-
doesn't have a single note
Well, no notes, exactly.
in front of him ever.
Exactly.
and knows no questions that are coming.
Nope.
No.
No prep. No prep done.
His life is prep.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the interesting part about him is I've heard from so many people that are like, hey, man, I don't get into the sports gambling, and I get it. I understand it. But that they find him really interesting because he has so much information behind all of these matchups that we talk about that you find it interesting and beneficial, even if you aren't gambling on sports, and it helps you get ready for each game.
Yeah, his delivery is everything too, man. To the people that he can engage, like you said, that don't even worry about betting and walk away and understand it. Like, man, I'm tuning back in to hear him talk. I was like, man, I'm trying to figure out from the responses in the chat, like, man, Todd Fuhrman ought to be doing a TED Talk. He's so easy to listen to, and it's so free-flowing. And it's not, even though it feels like he's talking fast, you can understand everything he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty dope.
He's been on 3HL since 2010, and certainly appreciate that relationship, and it will move forward.
Do you know, real quick, what tweet Zeph just sent us?
Zeph, what'd you send? Is your mic on?
NFL rumors.
Okay.
On Twitter.
Zeph loves rumors.
He loves
number
rumors.
one.
Although there are a lot of things that this account puts out that ends up being true.
That's true.
So.
Smoke, fire, that kind of thing.
Right. You want me to read it, Zeph?
Go ahead.
Okay. The Titans reportedly will shop for a wide receiver 1 this offseason. A.J. Brown has been mentioned as a name to watch.
Why are you shaking your head?
Thoughts, boys?
See, me personally, I'm cool. Like, I think that's one of the problems with the franchise. Wanting to go back and get players and try to rekindle that love that was once there. Like, it's over
Try
with.
to fix a mistake.
Yeah, it's moved on, man. Like, he's had a great career. We ain't had a great career, but it's all being figured out, man. Like, no need to go back. I'm like Babsy said on Friday. Like, I'm not trying to walk back down the lane of going to get 33-year-old receivers and
bring back Derrick Henry.
Yeah, trying to go get. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool on that, man. We moved past that, y'all. You can't grow unless you cut out all that old stuff. Like, that's part of it.
Is this the organization that wants a receiver reading a book on the sideline? You know what I mean?
Well, also, yeah, I was going to say, also,
right,
I
wrong,
think
and
A.J.
different.
Brown is a lot.
Yeah, right, wrong, and different. But do you think they're bringing that in here?
I thought he was a lot when he was
Shirley Temple, I like
right
it.
before he left.
That's good.
What's in that? Grenadine and Sprite?
Yes.
That's it, right?
Grenadine and Sprite.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You seem so refreshed.
It's
now.
such a it's a quencher,
He's
boy.
like so happy.
Man, I'm telling you that right there. That's the next level.
So if you were crawling through the desert for like 3 days and then the sun is beating down on your baseball hat,
Give me that.
that would do it for you.
That's bringing me back. Snap me
I
right
used
back
to drink
reality.
those when I was like a 7-year-old kid.
I still am.
Also, does anyone know who Shirley Temple is anymore?
Probably not. Kids
Should we
nowadays
rename that
don't.
drink?
I don't even think they do the hairdos anymore, do they? They do the Shirley Temple curls anymore?
I mean, I don't think they call it that.
Oh, they call it something different.
Little Orphan Annie had it, right? She had those little
not
curls.
really.
Those little
No,
red
not the
head
Shirley
They're
Temple
like the
curls, though. Yeah, they like
ringlets.
the rods. You put the rods in.
Well, so what is
I
a
used
Roy
to have
Rogers
them.
drink?
Have them.
Who?
Roy Rogers drink.
That's cherry Coke.
Oh, it is? With grenadine?
Well, Coke with
grenadine.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
That's a bad boy right there.
I didn't order this. They just brought it.
Hey, man, that's cold-blooded.
I wish they'd bring me one. Did they bring you one?
How we ain't get that?
Oh, it's Chris. Okay.
I think.
She ordered it?
Yep.
It makes sense.
Oh, now we're on it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're doing now.
Now we know what to do.
We already had dinner in there, man.
All right, when we come back, we do have some Super Bowl nuggets for you throughout the course of the week, but also today. But when we come back, we'll talk with Stoney Keeley. He was at the Senior Bowl and with Zach Lyons, and we'll get what takeaways he had from the Senior Bowl, some of the players that stood out to him.
Prospects, baby,
yes,
prospects.
as we get ready for draft coverage. Stoney Keeley from Football and Other F Words next. 3HL, powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, SpringHillAC.com. Broadcasting live from Circus Sports Stadium Swim in Las Vegas, CircusSports.com.
All right, want to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Listen, when summer comes around, you're going to want some windows that are doing their job and keeping the air in. I know it's crazy to hear me talk about that right now, but that's because we're sitting in 75 degrees in Vegas right now. And the reason I ended up calling Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville in the first place was because I had, in the summer, little bugs would crawl in through our windows because our windows were failing. And so I was like, I think we need to get this fixed. And sure enough, called Pella and had them replace our windows, doors, all of it. And they are the absolute best. They can help you out too. They let me do a Dawn deal every month. We are now into the month of February. So here is the Dawn deal for February. Buy 3, get 1 free on Windows, and no payments, no interest for 12 full months. Schedule your free consultation. Check out their Dawn deal. Just tell them you heard about it from Dawn. They'll give it to you. Easy to do online at PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. 104.5 The Zone. Going to the Bay to broadcast live from Radio Row. We will be there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, giving you information about the big game as we do. And we'll talk with a lot of interesting personalities and people and kind of get their story for you. Thanks to our friends at Circus Sports, which is where we broadcast live Monday and Tuesday, today and tomorrow in Las Vegas, and our friends at Durastar. For more information on this event, to hear all our special interviews this week, visit 1045thezone.com. Stoney Keeley and Zach Lyons were at the Senior Bowl, thanks to our friends at Lyons Ford. And Stoney joins us now to kind of wrap that up. Stoney, what's up? How are you?
Man, let me tell you guys something. I tune in to 3HL today, and I hear y'all talking about heated pools and Shirley Temples, and you got your short sleeves and no sleeves and sunglasses on, and I'm thinking, I'm not even going to answer the phone today. Ross called me up. I'm just going to let it ring. They can find somebody else to talk about the Senior Bowl, but no, I'm just jealous. I'm just hating. Happy to join you guys, and I can't complain too much because I just got back from an entire week in beautiful Mobile, Alabama, which is just as extravagant and desirable as Las Vegas. So
I will
I'm
say now,
ready to talk
Stoney,
Senior Bowl.
You guys, I mean,
Nobody loved your videos more than this one right here, Ron
I
Davenport.
was like, oh, what did they cross off the list at this restaurant they eat at? Like, wait, I need to see the napkin, the play up, draw up on the napkin. Like, y'all just seem like you're living your best life, man.
It is. It's football heaven. And I will tell you that we crossed off 13 of the bingo boxes at Wenzel's on our own.
Nice.
Zach can't do the fruity drink, so I was pounding the rum punch, the strawberry lemonade. We had 2 glasses of wine, crab claws, oysters. We each ordered a steak. We each ordered a gumbo. We each ordered a dessert. I mean, we did damage to our bodies that I am still recovering from. I had to eat a salad today, which is practically torture.
Well,
like kings.
I loved the fortitude that you guys showed in the middle of a winter storm to head down to Mobile, Alabama, and make it through the help of Lyons Ford. And when you were walking across your icy yard to head down there, I wasn't feeling the athleticism there, Stoney. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you know what? Let's hold on. I didn't have on the proper footing, and this was a different kind of winter storm. Like, I step out on that backyard, and there was no crunch. Like, that ice supported my weight, and I'm like 290 pounds. I'm not no little baby just crawling across the ice out there. And so I realized, like, I'm gonna have to like stomp down on this ice just to get some traction on my shoes. And of course, Zach was there with the camera. My wife was actually inside the house filming me too. I'm like, I'm glad I can just be a spectacle for everybody, but that's what we do for love of the game.
That's right.
Did you see J.C. Latham, by the way, coming down the stairs?
Phil?
With a suitcase.
With a suitcase.
In the ice.
It was pure ice on those stairs. The video's on Twitter. Go find it, because whoever posted it said we were almost looking for another tackle here. But, yeah, and the athleticism that his ability to not bust his butt and end up in the hospital was absolutely unreal. I'm like, Pro Bowl next year.
Yep.
Let's go.
Did you see it, Stoney?
I did. And, why does that have to come out right after my video trying to navigate the ice where I look
These two things
I
are
look
not
like an old
like
lady
the
in a
other.
tornado or something?
Old lady in a tornado.
Yes.
All right, Stoney, before we get to what you saw and some of the players that stood out to you at the Senior Bowl, I want to get your take. Gus Bradley hired as defensive coordinator. Obviously, head coaching experience, which goes right along with the narrative of this staff. But obviously, Robert Saleh is going to call the defense and all of those things. But what do you think about Gus Bradley as DC?
Yeah, another bald guy too. So we're collecting infinity stones here, like Thanos. But I think it's a very logical hire. I can't say I'm too surprised by it, to be honest with you. Bradley is a guy that has been at several stops along with Robert Saleh. They have roots in a similar style of defense. Gus Bradley once considered one of the preeminent defensive minds in the NFL. A lot of that Seattle stuff that was all the rage for several years, Gus Bradley has experience in, and now kind of partnering up with Robert Saleh to bring some of that with some of the stuff from San Francisco here where they work together as well. I think it makes a lot of sense. Frankly, I'm kind of shocked that he didn't pick the Arizona job because he would have been able to call the plays there. But I think it speaks to the relationship that he has with Robert Saleh, that he is coming here even though he's not going to be calling the defensive plays. But this is a guy with experience, extensive experience in the system that they're going to be running. I think it's definitely a benefit to the coaching staff.
Stoney Keeley with us, football and other F words. All right, big picture takeaway from the Senior Bowl in Mobile. You guys were there all week. What did you learn?
And this is a really deep edge group. And this is not just a group where you're going to have several go in the first round and then maybe you get a contributor late. No, this is one that you're going to get some dudes in the second and third round. There's going to be a run of these guys that are going to be impact players from the jump. I think of a guy like Zion Young out of Missouri, very powerful rusher, showed some burst, probably one of the more consistent guys throughout the week. And when you see these guys perform at this level, usually, I don't know if many people know this or not, but the Senior Bowl game is actually like the least important aspect of the Senior Bowl.
Right.
It's what happens in those practices Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Most of the time, you see a guy have a week like Zion Young did, you don't see him on Saturday. But he was out there playing to solidify a good week, ends up being named the defensive player of the game, and might even work his way into late first-round consideration. Seen a lot of analysts that talk to NFL people throughout the week say, yeah, this is a guy that in that like 29 to 32 range might be a bit of a surprise, but could end up there. And then guys like T.J. Parker out of Clemson proved that he can, his power translates to this level of competition. Now, it is with the preface that these offensive tackles were not the deepest group. These tackles were more day 3, round 4 through 6 kind of guys, but still, T.J. Parker did what he was supposed to do, showed a powerful long arm, can really collapse the edge. Gabe Yakas out of Illinois, we've heard like a million different ways to pronounce his name. I still don't even know if that's right, but he was another guy, very feisty, out of Illinois, had a couple of big moves. I liked Kieron Crawford out of Auburn. Not a lot of people talking about him. I don't think he had the viral rep like Derek Moore out of Michigan did, where he just completely knocked Markel Bell off of his point and gets millions of views on Twitter. But Kieron Crawford had a really good week as well. Every time you look up, one of these pass rushers was winning a rep, and I think it's indicative of this class as a whole, where there's going to be really good value on the second and third days of this draft if you need a guy that can rush the passer with some power.
Stoney Keeley with us, football and other F words.
Stoney, the skill spot, the corners. In particular, we saw a couple of highlights of Colton Hood. Like, did anybody else from around our area kind of stand out for you?
Slay, I think it was a great week for the Tennessee kids. They ended up having 5 there. The fourth was Tyree West, the defensive lineman, showed up on Thursday for practice. And then Star Thomas, the running back, shows up the day of the Senior Bowl and gets some reps in the game as well. So hats off to those guys coming in and competing on such short notice. But the big 3, so to speak, the ones that were announced ahead of time, Jalen McMurray and Colton Hood, the defensive backs, and then Bryson Eason, the defensive line. I think all 3 of those guys had pretty solid weeks. Now, McMurray is considered like a late day 3 kind of guy, very physical corner. I noticed him in the one-on-ones, like really punching the receivers at the point of their breaks, trying to disrupt them. I think he got beat, allowed a bit of separation sometimes, but all in all, I think he helped his stock as well. Bryson Eason got kind of a slow start that first day of practice. I'm watching him. He's got some burst. He's got some juice off the line, but the balance issues were evident. He kept ending up on the ground. I made a joke to someone in the stands. I'm like, man, Bryson Eason can't stay on his feet. And the very next rep, they're running around a hula hoop and hitting a bag and stuff, and he ends up on the ground. So I was kind of down on him, but late in the week, man, he flipped the switch or something, but he became very disruptive. Looks like a value add on the defensive line where the Titans may look to add some bodies, add some numbers, add some volume at that group the way Robert Saleh runs this defense. But make no mistake about it, Colton Hood was one of the big winners of the week. I love watching this guy play. He is so smooth. I love how seamlessly he gets his hips turned to run with the wide receiver. I love that he establishes a contact point, right off the snap. He gets that arm out, and he's not losing track of that wide receiver. The mirror ability was solid. The speed was solid. Got beat a couple of times, but you're not going to win every rep down there. Right. Hood was so good that he actually opted out of practice on Thursday. So he showed the scouts everything he needed to show them on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think this is a guy that should end up being a first-rounder once we complete the process and get to the draft in April.
It's big. What did you see from Diego Pavia?
Man, I think we need to start having an honest conversation about Diego Pavia because that dude is just a dog. That dude just continually rises to the occasion. We've all made our jokes. I'm guilty of it too, about the size, about the frame, all that stuff. But my man was making an impact last week throwing the football. We knew he had the intangibles. We knew he had the leadership qualities. But what he did in Mobile was throw the football well. I mean, tight spirals. Zebra Technologies down there, they keep track of all of these crazy stats, and Pavia had the highest initial rotation on the football of any quarterback that was down there at 694 RPM, whatever that means. It's a lot. But he had a couple of frozen ropes over the middle of the field, a couple of layered throws in the drill where he had to get it over a linebacker and into the hands of his running back, and he executed those. He also had a couple of really good throws to the sideline, some deep buckets down the field that, you know, Zach and I were sitting in the stands watching him, and we looked at each other and we're like, hey, this guy's got the intangibles. This guy can make some plays with his legs, but he's proving himself here in Mobile. We might need to talk about him actually getting drafted, a team rolling the dice on him because of the X factor that he is. And I thought he had a great week. I thought he was one of the better quarterbacks consistently throughout the week down there.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I thought when you said we have to have an honest conversation about him, you were going to go the other direction.
Yeah.
No, he was very impressive. Now, in the game, he didn't do too much, but it was in the practices where he made his money, and that's what counts down there.
Yeah. Size-wise, what did he look like as far as being able to see where he was getting it to? Because if he was just going through passing, he didn't have anybody in front of him, right? As far as linemen or anything?
There were some team drills where he was behind the offensive line and kind of had to work between the big boys. But we saw him next to Sawyer Robertson from Baylor and Cole Payton out of North Dakota State. And the size, to me, sounds a lot smaller than it actually looks. Because you see him next to those two guys, and he doesn't really look all that different. And he's well built to be he ended up coming in at 5'9". Like, he's got a really good build to be durable in the NFL. And it kind of reminded me of the quote from, I think it was Bryce Young, where everybody's like, how does he even see over the offensive lineman in front of him? But you got to think, like, he's been short his whole life. Like, he's gotten used to throwing behind these offensive linemen and doing things to see around them and over them and that sort of thing. So very comfortable out there throwing the ball. I didn't get any sense at all that his vision was somehow obscured from the big boys up front.
Gotcha.
Gerald T. Says, if you didn't listen to Stoney and Zach last week, you guys missed out. Telling the chat that. You guys did a great job. Football and other F words. Thursdays about 6:15 or whenever they cut their mics on is where they get it done. What about wide receivers? Did you see anybody maybe not first round necessarily, but maybe a couple of diamonds in the rough, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a wealth of slot receivers down there, and you start looking at the type of receiver that Brian Dable is typically featured in his offense. He's liked those slot guys. So I do kind of think there's going to be a guy on day 3 that if the Titans were to go that route, they could end up with a quality player. Now, I think overall, I think you look at a guy like Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame, probably after going back and studying the practice tape, probably was the most consistent receiver all week long. That guy's going to be a top 50 pick. I mean, he is like stretched out, 6'4", big, thick, really looks the part, made a couple of splash plays down there. Probably going to be the first receiver taken out of the guys that were down there. But then you get into this class of slot receivers, and it's hard to really go wrong. I loved the kid out of John Carroll, Tyron Montgomery, the wide receiver. He was out there at an uptick in level of competition, proving that he belonged with these defensive backs. I liked Lewis Bond out of Boston College, a very refined route runner, guy that didn't just get open because of speed, but because of setting the defensive back up for a move and then countering, breaking the opposite direction. That's what we call the DB manipulation, setting those guys up and then getting open. And then a guy I liked as well, Cyrus Allen out of Cincinnati. Probably didn't catch a lot of eyes because he wasn't catching the ball, but I was watching him, and the ball would go to the other side of the field, but over there, Cyrus Allen had just hit a stutter step on some poor soul and separated by 5 yards down the field. So, I didn't even get to Kevin Coleman Jr. out of Missouri. Like, there was a strong class of these smaller slot receivers down there that I left Mobile thinking, man, the Titans better go get one of these guys.
Love it, Stoney. Always appreciate your time, man, and you and Zach do a great job, football and other F words. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you guys. Y'all come back in one piece now, all right?
That's questionable.
Yeah, it was a rough first night, but yeah, we'll be there. Thank you, Stoney. Appreciate you, man.
Y'all take care.
There's Stoney Kiwi, football and other F words.
Another guy, man, I wonder, we'll get to ask Stoney or Zach later on in the week, or next week. Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Anybody
Garrett
able to
Nussmeier.
clean up, you know what I mean, something that may have been hanging over them from the season, like not able to deliver during the season, whether it be injuries or whatever that kind of derailed that first round mention, first quarterback taken kind of mention. Nussmeier's going to be one to keep the eye on.
615-737-1045 if you want in. 3HL, broadcasting live in Las Vegas at Circus Sports, circusports.com. We will be in San Francisco covering Radio Row from the Bay Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be back out here tomorrow as well. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate everybody in the chat. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
There you go. When we come back, a very well-known college football coordinator has retired, strangely. We'll talk about that next. We appreciate you being with us at 3HL 1045. There she goes. She can't help herself.
I cannot help myself.
1045 The Zone. Man, you need to snack the right way when you watch big games, and we definitely have all kinds of opportunities in the college basketball world. We also have one really big nugget coming up this weekend. Make sure that you are stocked properly with Daisy French Onion Dip. Daisy makes French Onion Dip, and it is spectacular. I have some in my fridge, as a matter of fact. Great tasting, delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip as well. I like them both. I actually have the Daisy Ranch Dip is in my fridge right now. It's made with ingredients that you can find in your kitchen. No preservatives, no artificial ingredients. Daisy Ranch Dip, Daisy French Onion Dip. Enjoy eating Daisy dips with chips, wings, and veggies. Veggies snack the right way, especially when big games are on point. Your snack game needs to be on point as well. Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip.
What's happening, y'all? Big Slay coming to you with the Joint Chiropractic. Understand now, this is the opportunity for you to get involved because the big game's coming up, man, and you don't want to be sitting on the couch. All of a sudden, you jump up off the couch, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's my team. They scored. And then your back or something lock up. No, you need to get in touch with yourself. Let the doctor make sure he gets you back to feeling the way you're supposed to. That's why Joint Chiropractic is the real MVP of Middle Tennessee. They got 17 locations all across Middle Tennessee, open days, nights, and weekends. So understand, that. Morning, evening, mid-celebration, they're ready for you. No insurance, none needed. No appointments needed either. Just walk in and tell them Big Slate sent you. Now check this out. Consultation, exam, and the adjustments for just $29 for the new patients. And after that, start as low as $21. That real deal is for you, people. You got to dive into it. The Joint's got your back literally. So don't be limping around on Big Game Sunday. Hit thejoint.com, find a location near you, and get yourself back in the game. The Slay Way.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, broadcasting live from Circus Sports in Las Vegas. Babs making good use of her time during breaks, laying out in the sun.
I really didn't want to come back in this cabana and sit at this table. I really just want to stay out there.
Man, you can see if your cord stretch out there, Babs. You can do the last hour while you laying out.
Oh, Zeffy, can you put me out there?
I could probably get it close to fit.
There we go.
She won't be on camera, though.
That's all right. Put me in the sun. It's good for my soul.
Babs, you care about being on camera or Babs, you care about being in the sun? Which one you think?
Yeah, Babs has been irritated by the cold weather like all of y'all listening. So she's taking full advantage. She got down here early, so she was like, I was like, I got to get in the shower. She's like, no, you don't have time for that. Get down here.
I'm like, no, don't. You don't need to shower.
You're gonna.
I didn't shower.
You're gonna get home with like a full tan.
So
I don't know. I might be a little burnt. I am so white.
Zeffy's white.
I might be as white as Zeph.
No. Zeph looks like you sunbathed in mayonnaise.
That is true. But look at his little swimsuit. He's got like this black and white striped swimsuit. He looks
like a referee.
No, he looks like he belongs to the mob.
That's very.
It's banano. It's very banano.
That's very banano-ish.
Yeah.
The Canadian mob.
Yeah,
there
the
you
Canadian
go,
mob.
Ross
Like he just switched on a switch when he came down here to Vegas, man.
Yeah.
Turned into a different person.
Yeah.
So last night, the last thing I remember saying was, "Y'all, it's 5 o'clock in the morning in Nashville."
To which I said, we don't look at that time zone.
we're
We are
not
not
in
in
Nashville.
it. We're not in that time zone. We don't look at it. We don't worry about it.
My favorite part of last night was Slay throwing dice at the craps table, and I went over and talked to you, and you're like, "It's all about the energy, man. It's all about the
You gotta have
energy."
the energy. If the energy
It is
died
about the
down,
energy.
then
You had the
mess
energy.
up.
It looked like you were in a movie.
That's what you're supposed to be at. That's why
You were
when
loud. People were watching.
Dog, when you go back, when you on the crap table, if the energy ain't right, you better keep walking, because that means somebody over there losing.
But it's funny because like the other guy at the other end of the
He
table,
was messing it up.
He had no energy.
Exactly. That's what was messing up. And then when
He was almost kind of angry.
He was like he was a
He
mute.
also kept betting on the 7 to come out. I'm like, dude, stop. Don't do that.
that's why I just started hitting them numbers on this.
You
Negative bet.
there was a.
I hit a
you had
good little
long
streak.
stretch.
Had a
yeah.
good little streak.
Did
I
you end
should've
up
been pressing
winning
up.
overall?
No.
Okay.
I did. I was up though. I was up like 220.
Now, see what
Then,
got Slay was the
Until you
dude kept rolling sixes, and Slay's like he's gonna hit a hard six,
Dude,
and he kept betting it, and he just kept hitting regular sixes, not hitting that hard
Yup.
six.
When I walked up to the table though, he hit 3 hard 8s in a row.
What's a hard 8?
Hard 8 is the 4-4 when it comes, and it pays 10-1.
Oh,
But he hit it 3
so a hard
times
6
in a row.
is 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. Yep.
So a soft 6 is 5-1 or 4-2.
Yeah, any other way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other way.
Yeah. There you go.
I was up after blackjack.
Were you?
Yeah, and then me and
You was rolling.
Babs found the roulette table.
What was her name? Kendall.
I was not
Got
up
it right.
Kendall.
at any
Yeah.
point
Kendall,
in
yeah.
the night. I was never up.
I'm with you, Don.
I just
Same. I was in a hole
It was-
as soon as I
it-
sat down.
absolutely kicked my butt last
You know
night.
what else kicked your butt?
I just remembered I kept giving y'all money. I kept giving y'all chips.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Wanted everybody in here.
Don got up a little bit on those, and then they disappeared.
Yeah, and then they were gone. But that's okay.
I'm gonna tell you another thing that kicked Babsy's butt.
What?
That was the shots that she had to take because she lost a
Oh,
Yep.
she did have to
bet.
take
Lost
shots.
a little bit.
I lost a bet.
And some random girl that happened to be
Darlene.
sitting next to y'all
Darlene,
named Darlene.
you
Yeah.
remembered her
She
name.
became an Auburn fan.
She
She was awesome.
She talked Don into doing kamikaze.
Kamikaze. Yep.
What? I missed that.
Yeah.
You did a kamikaze?
Yes.
Started with that.
Damn.
It took her a couple tries to get it down, but
Yep.
she
She got
eventually
it.
did.
Okay. Because in my defense,
Yeah, it was
the
huge.
shot was a drink.
It was like a triple.
I'm like, this is not a shot.
Yeah, it was
this
like a
is
triple
an
shot.
entire drink.
Bartender was helping both y'all out.
I could have drank that for an hour.
yeah. It was. You feel
I
the
have,
bad
I have
boy.
a picture of him pouring those shots with all of his canisters lined up.
Yeah.
I need to put that on Instagram.
It was
I thought
actually
you
pretty
did.
cool.
Yeah, that was
Did I?
cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
No, I
you
think
did
you
not.
sent it to us.
You just sent it to us. Yep.
Okay, well,
So yeah, so we need some better luck here at Circa.
Yeah, we do.
Send
we do.
it our
We're
way.
gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Oh,
tonight.
also, we could not remember that one of our listeners threw out a roulette number that we needed
Yes.
to
It
bet
was
the
black
last time
something.
we were in Vegas.
Dude, he told
And
us.
it hit when we were at the roulette table,
Yep.
and I don't remember what number it was.
Can't
so-
remember. I cannot remember. Can we give a shout out to?
Sure.
My shout out
Shout outs
goes
presented
to-
by.
your mom and
Your
them.
mom and
You
them.
better believe it. Shout out from when we did the Bart Durham commercial.
Yes.
Shout out to Blair and Company. Had us
We
over
just got the version
The
of
real.
it.
Mhm.
It looks good.
there. It was dope. Patrick Snyder. Got to give him some love. Addie's his daughter. Addie was there. So she said, man, my pops listen to you all the time. So Patrick Snyder, give him a shout out. How about that?
There you go.
What up,
And
Snyder?
you can catch
So-
catch the boys Bart Durham commercial during the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to air 6 times during the Super Bowl.
6 times, baby.
So,
Lord.
so I was convinced after viewing that Slay should win an Academy Award for Best Performance in a Comedic Role. And Blair was like, yeah, I don't know about that, but maybe an Addy, which I forgot that they actually do those.
Do they?
That would be something, huh?
For
Oh,
an
that'd be dope.
advertisement.
Oh, really?
Can we get an IMDb page?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I ought to be up for that. Who I need to talk to? I got to talk to somebody.
You need to
sure.
find a rep.
Yeah, I do. Blair and them will get on it. Blair, look out for me, man. Let's get to Addy. Look, let's go put that in the Durham office.
Yeah.
That'll be dope.
Maybe somebody listening can have some influence there.
Bart
Chip
Durham
on
injury
Twitter
law.
said, what shots did Dawn take after her lost bet?
It was
kamikaze and vodka.
Yes.
I mean,
Straight
it was
vodka.
Tito's, yep.
Straight.
Well, it
Tito's.
was
Straight vodka.
gonna.
It was chilled,
gonna
though.
be straight.
It was chill.
Yeah, dog.
It was
The bartender helped out.
Oh, yeah.
Bartender helped you out a little
After
bit.
about
No,
2 swigs of it.
Slay got soft on
Yeah,
it.
I did.
And Slay was like, okay, let's put a little cranberry in there.
Added some cranberry in.
A lot of cranberry. Slay tried to make it little, and the bartender helped you out.
Yeah.
Florida State offensive coordinator Gus Malzahn retired.
Oh, Gus. Good run, bud.
The Gus bus has come to a crashing, fiery halt.
No.
Oh, no?
He's just pulled into the station, Mayor.
Oh, okay.
He just pulled into the
Oh,
station
like the bus
for the
station?
final time.
Couple
Downtown?
wheels falling off.
Yeah.
Windows smashed.
Gus bus is done.
Couple dents on the side.
You guys know he pissed me off when he was at UCF and did not tell our broadcast crew. And, I have a great relationship with Gus.
Yeah.
Love his wife,
Yep.
Christy. Awesome people. They're the best, right? No. He didn't tell me that he was going to start a different quarterback, a 17-year-old who had never played.
She doesn't hold grudges either.
No.
This is amazing.
That was 2 years ago. As I tell my crew all the time, he's dead to me.
He did at least get to beat Alabama one more time last year before he retired.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, at FSU.
That is true.
Good. Go enjoy yourself, Gus.
All right, when we come back,
And think about how you lied to your friend. Go ahead.
Why would you do a thing like that, Gus?
what a mess.
What a mess.
When we come back, some interesting numerology on Tyjae Spears, Titans running back. That's coming up next. Stay tuned. If you want in, 615-737-1045. We wish we could pack all of y'all up and bring you down here to Las Vegas at Circus
so
Sports.
beautiful.
But, keep this place in mind when you are traveling or you're tired of the cold weather or maybe you want to go somewhere this weekend. Stadium Swim would be a great place for you to watch the game. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Compton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. We do have some information on the roulette number, thanks to one of y'all or multiples of y'all. Compton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned. These are your guys. Maybe you need a Sprinter van. They can help you out there as well. Just tell them what you're looking for. Maybe you need something with a little more room. Maybe you need something a little more cost-effective. Whatever your needs are, just let Daniel Gupta and his crew know, and they will point you in the right direction and get you headed in the right way. Go take your test drive. They will help make the numbers work when you go inside, and it'll be that easy. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. And it'll be, in my opinion, the best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. Upton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Again, 3450 Tom Austin Highway, 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online. UptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. Address, phone number, deals they have going on in the month of February, and all of the inventory, new and pre-owned, right there at GuptonMotors.com. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Good evening from the Circus Sports of the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. And some Nashville sports news. The Titans are hiring Gus Bradley to be their new defensive coordinator. Bradley was the DC in Indianapolis 2 years ago and was a defensive assistant with the 49ers this past year. Also, Predators general manager Barry Trotz is stepping down from his role. Trotz had been the GM since 2023 and was the head coach of the Preds from 1998 to 2014. Also in the NFL, we finally wrapped up the head coaching cycle. Over the weekend, multiple sources reported that the Arizona Cardinals are hiring Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur to be their new head man, and the Las Vegas Raiders are expected to hire Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak after the Super Bowl to be the new head coach in Sin City. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans of Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a great day. Brent Doherty with you, broadcasting live on a beautiful day in Las Vegas. Hope you're having a great day, and we wish, as we keep saying, we could have brought y'all down here with us. Circus Sports is where we are in Las Vegas. We're in a cabana looking out at Stadium Swim, which is a series of heated pools, lounging areas with a, 10,000 square foot video board.
I just like to say big as hell.
It's 143 feet.
There you
Where'd
go.
you get that from?
I looked it up.
Like Kirby.
The executive producer of 3HLSF.
What's up?
What up, Zephyr?
Kirby, Allen Kirby, or Kirby with an I? Kirby.
Alan Kirby.
Yeah.
I had the height. Give me a second. I can tell you what the height was.
Well, it's massive. Let me just tell you that. Babsy's here, y'all.
What up?
Bubby.
Let's go.
41 feet tall, 143 feet wide, 14 million megapixels.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's pretty amazing.
That's some megapixels.
Yeah,
14 million of them.
I need a couple
Is
of them.
this like the best broadcast experience you've had, Babs, in your illustrious journalistic career?
Yes.
She's basically like, tell me when the traffic is on, and I'll come back in.
I mean, this is, I don't feel like a professional because I'm in a swimsuit and laying out at a pool in between segments of the show. But yeah, here we are.
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Slay Dog's got the white tank top going.
I'm in the building. This is only going to last one more segment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm coming out of it.
Okay.
For Chris Lowe.
Yeah.
You're coming out of your tank top?
Absolutely. Low would need me
I
to.
don't know if we need to do that.
No, I think so, Babsy. What's the guy name's that's got the comedy special out? Brett?
Bert Kreischer,
Bert Kreischer.
a.k.a. The Machine.
Yeah, the machine. So I'm a machine, too.
You are?
So when around or thinking like a machine,
Do you know why he got that nickname?
No.
I don't know, but
Because
Davenport's
he got
shaking her
caught
head.
up with the Russian mob on a college trip to Russia.
It's funny that you know that.
Yeah.
Of course
That's
Zeph
his
knows
era,
that
though.
because, I mean, Bonanno.
Yeah, hey, bingo.
There's
Babsy.
no hiding it.
Hey,
And
watch
they
it- watch
nicknamed
your
him
head
The
back.
Machine.
Why? Because what did he do? He fought his way out or something?
No, because he could
Killed
drink.
a guy.
No, because he could drink vodka with the best of the Russians.
Oh, really?
Did you just go to Anchorman?
I did. Thank you for
Brett
noticing.
killed a guy.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Reckless speculation right there.
Yes. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
We are with you until 6 o'clock. We are glad that you're here. Chris Lowe covers college football and basketball for on3.com. Will join us at 5:20. We have lots to talk with him about. He'll be glad to know that as a signal of him coming on the show, Slay will go shirtless.
Yes.
From Marcus Whitman, while nobody was watching, the Titans running back Tyjae Spears quietly tied Bijan Robinson for most missed tackles forced after the catch in 2025. He had 26. He forced 26 missed tackles after the catch. He had just 45 receptions, though, to Bijan's 79. How big of a weapon can Tyjae Spears be for the Titans moving forward.
Crazy weapon.
With Brian Daboll now calling
Crazy
the
weapon
shots.
when healthy. That's his only drawback.
Oh, Zeph went shirtless.
Yeah, way to go, Zeph. Like when he's healthy, dog, he's a force to be out there. And he came back running angry like we saw him running in the preseason in training camp. Because coming out of training camp, I know we were all like, hey, man, dude got something on his mind. And then he had that ankle injury. Was it the last preseason game? And he had to go out, man, and just didn't get back to who he was to the latter part of the season. But, yeah, I think a wild threat, man, in the offense where you talk about being able to get guys out there and open, kind of like Shaheed, but without that type of speed, but the elusiveness, man, dude, there, man. I'm
surprised that Brian Callahan didn't utilize him more.
He was hurt.
But, yeah.
That's all. He tried.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You all remember they went through a series for about 6 games where nobody would block on the screen, so they had to stop doing the screens. But then they kept doing them. Like they tried everybody blocking. Latham running out there. The receivers already out there blocking. Remember, Calvin really wasn't blocked. Chicken and missed block. That was a debacle. The screen game was a full-fledged debacle. I mean that debacle. Full-fledged. That was amazing.
Full-fledged?
Man, that was amazing.
How do you feel about it?
That was amazing. It was a debacle. That was a full-fledged debacle. Like, you couldn't do nothing with the screen game, dog. But all them fast players like DK, Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard can catch out the backfield.
Yeah.
The athleticism of Chig.
Yeah.
Like, dog, Calvin Ridley, the speed he got. Like, these are people you want to get the ball in their hand quick to let them go get busy. It was a debacle. That's amazing.
One more time.
A debacle. Full-fledged debacle.
Every time he says the word debacle, he puts his arms in a motion like it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah,
like,
it was
debacle.
Over. Like, it was finished, debacle. Like the ball. It was a debacle.
But now they got Dable.
Now you got the ball. The bull.
Dable.
Dable. There it is.
Dable.
Debacle, not the bull.
Dable and a whole lot of coaches on this staff that have head coaching experience.
I mean, hire another one today. Gus Bradley, defensive coordinator, former head coach.
I mean,
and another guy with no hair.
He's coached in 62 games. He's been the
Thank
head
you,
coach
Stoney.
in 62 games.
Yes.
Do you think that they are anti-hair on this staff?
No, I just think that this is like we got a lot of former head coaches, and a lot of hair was lost.
That's a great point.
That's all that was. We ain't bringing nobody new.
When you're a head coach, you're ripping your hair out.
Come on, dog.
Doesn't matter what franchise you're with.
You either turning gray or you ripping it out. It is what it is, man. That's just the way it rolls.
Tony Keeley on YouTube, preach Slay. Stop asking receivers to block if they can't block.
But you could see on the film they couldn't block. Like, they were literally missing the guy. Like, the corner, man.
Do you think they were getting excited on defense pre-snap when they discovered that, like, oh, here comes the screen. Here comes the screen. Here comes the screen, guy. Here comes the screen.
Dude,
Let's go.
It's dog.
Like a puppy dog going outside?
It was bad. It was bad, man. Like, I wish we could have somebody put together. Maybe Zach could do that. Stoney, get Zach to do that, man. Put together some clips of just the screens. I think it was a 4 or 5 game stretch. They just continued to run them, and everybody in the arena, in the stadium knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And they still tried to do it.
They couldn't wait to get out there and pop somebody.
What? Like, we would waste a down every single time doing the screen. That wasn't going to work. After getting, 4 or 5 yards on the first play.
Was it Marianne that would just scream about this?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, everybody would, man.
What are we
It was crazy,
doing?
dog. That was crazy. Insane.
In the brain.
And debacle.
Seattle, New England coming up this weekend. Did you guys know that there was a 4.2 magnitude earthquake in San Francisco this morning?
Did not.
Babs, you better call your homeboy and check on him. 40 water in them out there.
Who?
Come on, Babs. It's your boy, 40 water. E40.
E40.
Yeah, he's on the bay.
I do need to check.
Yeah, that's your dog.
Check on him. Seismologist, check this out.
Hey. Oh, wait, that's Ice Cube. Sorry.
Former 3HO guest, Ice
That's right.
Cube.
Sorry, E.
Sorry, E.
Sorry, E. I'll go buy some of your wine.
Speaking of, they did a 30-year. I saw Cube do a 30-year anniversary clip of Boys in the Hood, and he had Eazy-E's son do the song.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's dope. He look exactly like Easy, too.
Just a little bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
Seismologists recorded at least 17 earthquakes in an hour this morning.
Oh my gosh! So did people feel it?
Yeah. There were reports of no damage, but yes, they felt it.
Good.
Oh my gosh! Have you guys ever been in an earthquake? Slate, you've been in LA for a bunch.
And I didn't know it was happening.
Really?
Yeah. They'd be like, man, the earthquake just hit. And I'd be like, darn, did you feel that? No, I just didn't. Everybody else would feel it. Everybody else would feel it, but
if the house is rocking, don't go knocking.
Yeah, leave it alone, man. Leave it alone.
Have you?
No, and I'm worried that this is a precursor to something else coming out this
like
week.
a bigger one?
Please
Like they're
say
just
no.
waiting for us to get out there.
Please say no.
Remember that earthquake in the World Series, man, where like they had double-decker interstate fall on top of each other and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
In Cali?
Yeah, no, it was San Francisco. It was San Francisco and I think it was the Giants and the A's.
Dang.
It was. I know it was the A's.
No, we don't need that, though.
See, now I got to go spend an hour tonight researching the seismic
digging it in.
action out in San Fran right now.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing. I'm surprised y'all didn't see that.
Wow.
17
I did not
earthquakes
see
in
it.
an hour.
I didn't either. 4.2 on the Richter scale.
Have you been through one? You asked us.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Never.
Okay.
I think I've seen all the disasters.
You've seen all the disasters?
Seen flooding,
Yep. I've
earthquake.
been not
tornado.
in a tornado, but like close enough to a tornado.
I saw a tornado, the downtown tornado, drop
Yeah.
out of the sky.
Yeah.
I saw it drop out of the sky.
He came over there to visit us in North Nashville.
Yep.
Hurricane Alicia in Houston when I was a kid.
Unfortunately, I've
The
been in a
500-year
bunch of
flood
hurricanes.
in Nashville.
Yep.
Have not
I was
been
reporting in that one.
Yeah.
In
Was
a
that like your
rowboat.
first gig?
In a rowboat.
Yep.
You were on a rowboat on Broadway. Mm-hmm. Her posse was on
Really?
Broadway.
Yeah.
In a rowboat.
So we didn't do sports forever. I was working in sports then.
Wow.
And
She was in a rowboat.
yeah, so obviously they just send all the sports reporters out to cover news. The same thing has happened with this ice storm.
Yeah.
And so that was this is how long ago it was, but that was the first time that we had the technology to be able to go live without cords,
Yeah.
wireless,
Yeah.
like in a backpack, like a
Wow.
TVU backpack.
That's crazy.
And so I was the first one that got to take the backpack out and go be live in the middle of Broadway in a flood. It was nuts.
I remember that being overseas watching that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could not recognize Nashville. I was like, that's not where I grew up.
No, but
crazy.
you know what was amazing about that flood was the way this city came together. And,
Yes.
and I mean,
Helped
if you've
each
been here
other
for
out.
any length of time, you understand what I'm saying is this city is unlike any other. Man, we despite disagreements and different views on things, like when we need each other, we come together, man.
Saw it in the
And
East
I love
Nashville
it.
tornado. We've
Yep.
seen it in this power ice storm issues. You see it.
Yep. When we come
great
back,
place.
we'll talk a little college football with Chris Lowe from on3.com. That's next, 3HL. Powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com.
That was a full-fledged debacle.
Man, you got big games that you're watching all the time. If you're listening to us, you're certainly watching big games all the time, and you need your snack game to match your big game viewing, and Daisy brand can make that happen. Daisy makes French onion dip. They also make ranch dip. It is absolutely amazing. Great tasting, delicious Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch dip made with ingredients that you can find in your kitchen. No preservatives, no artificial ingredients at all. I enjoy eating Daisy dips with chips, wings, and veggies, and you can too. Make sure your snack game is up to par. Great tasting, delicious Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch dip in your grocery store. Plus 550. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Appreciate you being with us. 104.5 The Zone is going to the Bay to broadcast live from Radio Row. It. The big game coming up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Our coverage presented by Circus Sports. That's where we are today in Las Vegas, Monday and Tuesday, and then to San Francisco Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thanks to Circus Sports and Durastar. For more information on the event, to hear our special conversations on demand, visit 1045thezone.com. Chris Lowe joins us now from on3.com at CLowFB on Twitter. Chris, what's up? How are you?
Great. I'm not as good as you guys. I'm not in Vegas.
It's 78 degrees and sunny, Chris. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty
spectacular.
Yeah.
Is Slay fully clothed?
Absolutely not.
He took his shirt off just for this segment.
CeeLo, how did you know that he would not be wearing a shirt? How did you know?
Listen, Slay will tell you. I've got sources everywhere. Do I not, Slay? I got them everywhere.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Sporting events, concerts, it don't matter. Anything.
Concerts.
Yeah, CeeLo want to know. CeeLo going to find out.
Listen,
Real
I get
insider.
texts from people. If he was Slay at a ball game or something, and they'll send me pictures.
Oh, yeah. Know all about it. Hey, CeeLo, the Gus bus has pulled into the station for the final time. Wheels falling off and all of that, and he's retiring. Gus Malzahn, done.
Yeah, I knew he'd been thinking about it. I talked to Gus about a month ago, and I knew it was something that was on his mind. And he was just trying to sort of process it all, whether it was time to walk away. I know he certainly would have been interested in getting back in as a head coach at the right job. Let's say he could have gotten in Arkansas. I think that would have interested him. But I think he felt like this was for him, his family. You know, he's got a bunch of grandkids now. It was time to get away and do some things that in coaching, you know, you just can't do with family and things. And I think this was, you know, and I know he and his wife, Christy, had been discussing it. And Gus is one of those guys that, having covered Gus the whole time he was at Auburn and then spent some time and kept in contact with him at UCF, he's a rare dude. You know, he never changed. Gus was always a pretty quiet guy, kept to himself, and wasn't like one of these guys who sought out the camera. That wasn't who he was, but he was always so genuine in my time with him, and had a pretty tight circle. You know, didn't let a whole lot of people in. But what a good man! And I think anybody, and you go and look now out on social media, some of the tributes from people who have played for him, people who've coached with him, you know, people who coached in different sports with him. I know Bruce Pearl, people like that, and it's pretty obvious that he touched a lot of people, you know, in a lot of different ways. And I think Gus will be the perfect grandfather now that he's got time to be a grandfather 24/7.
Well, sometimes we hear stories like this, and like, I don't know, the skeptic in me is like, well, if the right situation pops up, he'll jump back in. Do you think he's done?
No, I think if a head job, if there was a head job he felt like fit him, I think he would listen. But I think for the most part, yeah, he's ready to call it a day. One thing about retiring in football, you guys know this, is you never say never, because you never know what's going to come your way or what kind of opportunity may open up out there. And I think that's sort of, you know, where he is right now. Again, I had talked with him back, about a month ago, maybe even before that. And I know that if there were a couple of jobs out there, head jobs, that he would have been interested in. But as a coordinator, I think he felt like this was the right time.
Chris Lowe with us from on3.com.
Low Dog, man, we saw it with Charles Bediako. He went to the local courts to get the injunction, to get his extension, to be able to go and play. Now we see Joey Aguilar pulling out, so in the NCAA and going to Knox County Court to see what he can get done. What's the odds of this, or what's the strategy behind this?
Well, I mean, the strategy is to get a home court advantage. Home court advantage. You know?
Exactly. I just wanted you to say it, Lo.
I mean, you don't have to look around. you have to look around very hard to see the people who've done that. Trinidad Chambliss is trying the same thing at Ole Miss. You mentioned Bediako. I mean, even Tennessee's has won before. They took on the NCAA back when when Nico was coming, or not when he was coming in, after he was already there, because the NCAA was bearing down and they were going to rule him ineligible. They were going to hit Tennessee with all these different sanctions, and Tennessee's attorney general and in court said, no, you're not going to do it, and you can't enforce these NIL penalties. And Tennessee was able to sort of skate on that one. So it's what everybody's doing. They sort of weaponize the courts, the local courts, certainly courts in state. And I think the one thing that's a little different here, Joey was initially part of the whole Diego Pavia. He was a plaintiff in that deal, so he's back out of that. Has a new lawyer, same lawyer who again defended Tennessee against the NCAA, and they've got it moved into Knox County Court. He's got to have an answer though, and I get it. He needs to know. Tennessee needs to know.
They do too.
But if he's going to get another year of eligibility, this is not something that can drag out for 2 or 3 more months. He needs to get an answer pretty quickly.
So what do you think ultimately happens? And like from a timeline perspective, you hit the point. Like they need to know, the schools need to know, and I bring Trinidad Chambliss into this mix too, going through Mississippi courts because that's probably a highly draftable guy right now coming off that year. So we're entering the Senior Bowl already happened. We're entering the draft process. Like what kind of timeline do you think that these 2 players in particular are working with?
Yeah, I think before the draft, but you're right. The more time that you're not out there doing whatever, being part of pro days, it's going to hurt you. Because they want to see what you can do, what you run, and that type of thing. So I think it's something that I know. Ole Miss, I'll say this, and of course, Ole Miss has been through it much like Nashville weather-wise, and they really had a hard time of it. And they had expected some type of decision. We're hopeful of some type of decision before now on Trinidad Chambliss. So we'll see how much that now is expedited, that they're starting to come out on the other end of that whole deal. But I think this month for sure, you got to know something. There's got to be some type of answer, on both those kids for them this month.
Chris Lowe with us from on3.com.
Lowe, man, I know football is going wild right now, but I got to shift to basketball at some point. But let me ask you this. Nussmeier, man, what have you been hearing about him getting ready for the draft? Saw at the Senior Bowl, he went down and, had some pretty much good showing for what it's worth. What's your thoughts on him and what are you hearing? Because, man, we were hearing number one quarterback taken. And then, the season took place. So able to right some of them wrongs through this little period?
Well, I tell you, the whole quarterback position this season was turned upside down. When you think about what we were talking about on this show back in August or back in July, what the quarterback position was going to look like. Who were we talking about? We're talking about Nussmeier. We're talking about Sellers. We're talking about Lagway. Talking about Arch. And none of those guys end up being in the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in college football, or top 5 for that matter. Now, Nussmeier was hurt, and he had an injury to start the season. It was an oblique or something that really affected his ability to throw the football, and especially to be able to throw it with a lot of velocity, to torque and throw it. And I remember going to that first game, and I'd heard some sort of rumblings that he might have something wrong health-wise. And they won, but he didn't throw it, with the way he typically has. And I think it took him a while to sort of work through that, and still didn't have the best year, but I still think he's a good player. And I think he went back down, as you point out, Slay. He went down there and showed that he still is a good player. He's played a lot of football. And here's the other thing about him is he was a lot like, Ty Simpson. He waited his turn there at LSU. He was on campus 3 years or so before he ever got a chance to play, and then played 2 years. So he's an experienced kid. He's an older kid, and I think that will help him as he tries to make his way in the NFL.
Chris Lowe with us on 3HL. Diego Pavia evidently had a good week at the Senior Bowl. We had our guy Stoney Keeley from Football and Other F Words on, and he said, and he was down there all week, he said, I think it's time to have a serious conversation about Diego Pavia, that he really delivered the ball well. He held up in the pocket behind enormous offensive lines, and
passed well.
And passed well, yeah. Do you see a scenario, like, is he a draftable guy?
I don't know. To me, how tall was Johnny Manziel? I can't remember. What did he measure?
Like 5'9", I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
About the
remember
same
watching
size.
him at Texas A&M and just thinking, how in the hell can he see? He could not see over that line. I was shocked by how little he was when I saw him.
I think he measured a little bit taller than Diego. Not a lot taller though. And I know the NFL's hung up on measurables. They always have been. They always will be. But to me, you don't. If you put together the kind of tape that Diego did, and then you go to the Senior Bowl and play and perform the way he did, and you're right. I've talked to other people who said the same thing. That he really helped himself there. Not that people were skeptical about what kind of player he was, but at that height, and he throws the ball well. He sees things. He's so elusive. I just got to think with that kind of tape, having had the impact he did on Vanderbilt's football team, someone's going to give him a shot. I mean, it only takes one team. And again, I know Manziel sort of flamed out, but it wasn't because so much he couldn't play. He had other issues. And I just, again, when you look at NFL teams, if they think someone could come in and help them play, and even if they don't think he's ready to go, even, he's played a little bit now and he's older, much like a Nussmeier. But if they think a guy like that, even if he is, would be one of the shorter, I don't know, what was Joe Theismann? I go back to some of these guys that were shorter, if you can play, you can play. And I just, there's just too much tape out there against really good competition of Diego. And at some point, the tape doesn't lie. So I think someone will give him a shot. He's not going to get drafted high, but I'd be surprised at this point if someone doesn't take him and say, hey, let's get you in camp. Let's see what you can do and go from there. I hope he gets a shot because he's a lot of fun to watch play. He really is. And I know after the Heisman, there's a lot of people that maybe soured on him a little bit because of some of the crazy stuff he said. But I think you got to separate that a little bit. And if you talk to the players at Vandy and the coaches at Vandy about what he meant to that program and that team and the way he sort of galvanized that team and the way he played, they're two different things.
So Kyler Murray's listed at 5'10". Doug Flutie was listed at 5'10". Drew Brees and Joe Theismann were listed at 6 feet tall. And he was almost 5'10", 5'9" and 7/8". He was arguing for that extra.
So it's not that big a difference. Yeah, I'm glad you looked that up. So that's my point. There have been other guys who've done it. It takes a special talent. It takes somebody who, and Don's right. That's the first thing I think about. When you're playing at that level, how do you see over your lineman? Yeah. But his ability to get out of the pocket, move, and make throws on the run, and he's very accurate. That's the other thing about Diego. He's a very accurate passer and knows where to go with the football. That's the biggest part of it, is knowing where to go. And he was really good at that. So, I got to think someone's going to give him a shot.
Says Eddie LeBaron was 5'9", four-time Pro Bowler and Hall of Famer. He was the last quarterback under 5'10" to play a significant amount of time in the NFL. That was 1952 to 1963. So, I mean, it would be unlikely. But I'm like you. I've always said, never bet against that dude. You know what I mean?
And I think he loves that. I think Diego thrives on situations like that. Well, he's going to get in a camp. Listen, he will get in a camp.
No,
that's right.
Whether he gets drafted or not, someone's going to sign him. He's going to get a shot. And knowing him, having spent a little time around him, if the thing that may drive him that much harder if he does go undrafted and then gets in a camp and then he kicks everybody, you know what? That's just sort of the type of player he is. But I still think someone will use a draft pick somewhere along the way in the latter round to take him.
Chris Lowe with us from On3.com.
Lowe, if I got to give you a pick in basketball, a team to make a run when the turning, now we still got a lot of time, a lot of things can change, but if you had to pick right now between Vandy, who seems to have right the ship after 2 losses in a row and kind of get things back on track, and then you go and you look at Kentucky winning 6 of their last 7, and then the Vols turning the corner in the fashion that they have with JP Estrella finally getting some things from him and some other guys emerging from them. Which team would you take to make a run in March between Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Tennessee?
Yeah, I would have to go with those 3, Vandy, because of the way they move the basketball, and they've got a lot of different guys who can score.
Yeah.
They spread you out, and they did lose those 2 in a row, but otherwise they've been pretty consistent. And
right.
It's, Byington, really, when you look at what he's done with that team and the way they brought in players, guys that fit what he wants to do, it's been really impressive. But I like to watch. I watched them play now a bunch. I know you have too, with all your studio work. But it's almost a clinic in the way they move the basketball, swing the basketball, find open guys, and they've got more than just 2 or 3 guys who can score, and that's what I like about them. But all the 3 teams you mentioned are capable. Tennessee, to me, what they were able to show, they really showed their mettle on the road. When you go on the road and win 2, coming off bad performance, because there's a lot of teams. And I think this is probably tells you all you need to know about Rick Barnes and the culture he creates. There are a lot of teams when they lose the way that Tennessee did to Kentucky, and you get, just completely embarrassed in the second half after you're up 17 at home. They fall apart. They're done. They pack it in.
Yep.
And Tennessee didn't do that. They come back and they played better. You're seeing young guys get better. And I think Kentucky, we know talent's not an issue at Kentucky. Right. It's just harnessing those guys, getting them to play the right way. I watched a lot of that Arkansas game this weekend.
Huge win.
And massive. And as I watched that game, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, if you're able to sort of like take the last 3 weeks away, which you can't, and just started watching Kentucky at that point, it'd be like, okay, this is what you expected Kentucky to look like when the season started with this collection of players. Now, can they sort of maintain that sleigh and continue to play at that level the rest of the way? The cool thing is those teams play a lot. Tennessee still got two games against Vandy in Knoxville and Nashville. Tennessee has to go to Rupp, I think, this coming weekend.
Yep.
So you're going to see all 3 of those teams play a bunch, over the next month.
Yep.
Chris Lowe at CLowe FB on 3.com. Thank you, Chris. Good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Low dog.
Hey, listen, Slay.
Yo.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Except Chris Lowe will know about it.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
Somehow.
Chris has a story that's like dancing on a table in the casino.
Don't be messing with Mike Tyson's Tigers, all right?
Yeah, I'm going to let them rest.
Thanks, CeeLo.
Thank you,
guys.
Appreciate it. All right. When we come back, we'll talk about more basketball. Nate Ament in the last 6 games, putting up some numbers. Gets Slade State next. 3HL, presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. eSpace is solving your workspace issues. If you have them, look them up online, eSpaces.com. They'll explain everything they do there. eSpaces.com. I got Pirtle and his crew ready to help you out. eSpace is redefining co-working with exceptional offices for every business. The 2 newest locations in Middle Tennessee, Cool Springs at Corporate Center, Brentwood at City Park, gives them 15 locations in Middle Tennessee. So if you're looking to have a meeting space, for example, with a bunch of colleagues that are spread out across the area, you can find a centralized location with one of their 15 Middle Tennessee locations, eSpaces.com. Private offices, team suites, meeting rooms that are fully equipped, designed for entrepreneurs, teams, and established professionals, 24/7 access, flexible terms that are beautiful and professional spaces that are move-in ready. Whether you're looking to scale up or just getting started, perhaps, eSpaces provides flexibility without compromise. Want to check them out? You can. eSpaces.com. That's eSpaces.com. Tours available now. Reserve your space early. Visit eSpaces.com. That's eSpaces.com.
What's happening, y'all? Big Slay coming to you with MedicalHouseCalls.com. Now, understand this is healthcare designed for your life. And they got something that I'm probably going to need, all of us probably going to need when we come back up off of this trip. That's the IV therapy that they offer, primary health care and urgent care. But when it comes to the IV therapy, this is what you need to know. From fighting the flu to performance-enhancing cocktails, nurses come to your door and administer the IVs to help you get back to feeling better. And that's including fatigue, persistent illness or injury, difficulty focusing, or being productive. Athletic recovery, immune-boosting blends, rapid rehydration, all up under the same umbrella with vitamins, minerals, and nutrients going straight to your bloodstream. All you got to do is reach out to MedicalHouseCalls.com at 615-838-2375, 615-838-2375. You can call or text, and I promise you, they pick up and they will assess what you need. They'll book your visit, and boom, medical providers will be at your door to deliver the care that gets you back ASAP. Real simple. It's MedicalHouseCalls.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay. Appreciate you being with us. Broadcasting live from Circus Sports. CircusSports.com is the website. This is a great location if you're tired of the cold.
Heck yeah, it is.
It is 78 degrees. I can't even see Babs. Where is she? Is she laying out now?
Yeah, she's
and talking?
I am.
Yes.
Why didn't I do this earlier? I just got Zeph to pull my headphones out to my lawn chair. I'm currently laying out in the sun staring at the pools. This is the life, man.
Zeph just took a picture of you with your headset on. Your eyes are closed. You're laying out on the
And I have the
pool
biggest
bed.
smile on my face, don't
Yeah.
I?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know why? Because it's so warm.
Yeah. And,
Sorry, not to rub it in, guys.
No, we're not rubbing anything in. We're just encouraging people. Like, if you're tired of the cold like we were, I mean, we're working today, so
I mean, yeah.
there's that. There's that. But, like, this is a great location. And if you're looking for something to do kind of outside the box to come watch the game, you can do it Stadium Swim with the big ATVs. And even if you don't come outside to enjoy, what did you say it was, Ev? 143 feet wide, this television? 41 feet tall, 143 feet wide. They do have like a stadium inside the casino as well where you can watch a screen bigger than this one.
Oh, the sports book.
Yeah, with the sports book with the, I mean, it's like movie theater type seating.
Yeah, it's floor to ceiling too. It's crazy.
Actually, Slay, I think, put it on his Instagram last night, as a matter of fact. So you can check that out. The Ron Slay with 2 E's. So we'll do some more social media from out here. We're going to dinner with Todd Fuhrman and his wife tonight, and looking forward to that.
The Todd father.
Tonight in college basketball, Syracuse at number 14, North Carolina. Tar Heels favored by 11.5, 6 o'clock on ESPN. Number 11, Kansas at number 13, Texas Tech. Texas Tech favored by 4.5, 8 o'clock on ESPN. It's really weird being out here just time zone-wise because that North Carolina game starts at 4.
That's crazy. That's what I used to love about living on the West Coast. Like the NBA Finals
You're
would come
done.
on. Man, the game be on. It's a late game. It'd be on at 4 o'clock. Game over at 6:30. You got all your day still left. Like, I was like, man, this is it.
Ooh, I don't know if I like the Central Time Zone. I like our time zone.
Central Time's better, but like on a one-off thing, like it's really kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool.
I was used to it. I loved it.
NFL at 10 a.m.
Man, what? Get on up, get your day started.
Kegs and eggs, baby.
Man, I loved it.
You got any big takes on tonight's 2 games?
North Carolina needs this one. I think Hubert Davis got to be able to get these guys going. A little health. Bitten by the health snake or whatever you want to call it.
The health bug?
Yeah, the health bug. But being able to get back
Injury
Caleb Wilson.
bug.
Injury bug, that's what I was looking for. Caleb Wilson, man, is a dog. Like, he's somebody to stay tuned for. Gives you vibes of a guy like Kevin Garnett if you guys haven't watched yet. He's a guy that, is long range. He can go in there and finish. Plays with the best of them. But getting Seth Trimble back is a guy that kind of, stabilizes this North Carolina group. So, Kyan Anthony's been playing well. Going through the freshman roller coaster, as he has. But Kansas and Texas Tech, that's going to be the ball game.
Yeah.
You want to watch that. JT Toppin, Anderson, the point guard for Texas Tech, 2 dynamic players, man, playing on the same team. And you wonder can Darren Peterson bounce back and be able to play more than a half, man? It's crazy the way his body breaks down. And that's, I think, when you watch him and A.J. DeBonsa play this past weekend, I mean, it was must-see TV, but he could only play for 1 half because his body started cramping. So I wonder how much would that impact his draft status. But this is going to be another good one. Texas Tech, well-coached team, coming off a loss to UCF, I believe, Johnny Dawkins and those guys. So they need to bounce back, too, and Kansas will be a good bounce back.
Only 8 SEC teams with midweek games this week. We'll talk about that in just a second. But the Vols have won 3 in a row.
Yep.
They're back in the top 25. Tennessee beat Auburn 77-69 Saturday.
Yeah.
Babs paid off her bet
Yes, she did.
with
did.
shots of vodka.
What?
Way to go, Babsy.
Good job, Babsy. Way to
brutal.
hold up for the team there. You and Darlene, some random lady at the bar that we didn't know.
Yeah,
held
she
it down
helped
for
me out.
Babsy. Yep.
You said the Vols would cover the 6.5 Slate. You were right. Freshman forward Nate Ament, 22 points, 8 boards. Carey had 13 and 8. Tennessee rebounded Auburn 46-30. Vols had 17 offensive rebounds, coming off 23, I think, the previous game. That's where they're making their hay, is on the offensive glass.
Yeah. Well, that's what you thought going into the season, too, how this front court was going to be able to be that impactful, kind of, taking what Florida was able to put out there on film and kind of, breaks yourself off of them. But they did this also, man, it got to be said, without Felix Akpara.
That's right.
So to be able to dominate on the glass the way they did, an Auburn team who was coming in hot and be able to limit their guy, Keyshawn Hall, who's the SEC Player of the Year candidate, to, 20, but on a wide, a whole lot of shots, you know what I mean? So not being efficient. But Bishop Boswell, you got to tip the cap to him. He's emerged. Jalen Carey finally finishing around the rim. J.P. Estrella giving you impactful minutes. And Amari Evans, Lord of mercy, man, you got to find more time for him.
Boswell is almost a double-double every game.
At the guard spot.
Yeah.
So tough.
Ament in the last 6 games is averaging 22 points per game, slating 6.1 rebounds per game.
Yeah.
Not turning the ball over in bunches either.
Yeah, the fun thing you see about Ament, man, is we talked about him coming up through the season, done the non-conference, and then to start the SEC play. It was always fun to watch him because of the intangibles he was able to bring to the game. Blocks, play, the effort on defense, being able to rebound, his passing skills, and knowing that at some point the offense was going to catch up. Now he's catching up. He's also, what I love, going to the free throw line and knocking it down. Being able to do that and being able to play through contact is that's A1 for him, man. So big salute to Ament. It's starting to come around.
Yeah.
Starting to come around.
Tennessee, Ole Miss Tuesday in Knoxville, at Kentucky Saturday.
Yeah.
The rematch there. At Mississippi State on Wednesday.
That's a good three stretch.
Also Tuesday, South Carolina at Texas. Then Wednesday, 2 more games. Texas A&M at Alabama. Oklahoma at Kentucky. Vandy's won 3 in a row since losing 3 straight. They don't have a midway game this week.
Yep.
They host Oklahoma Saturday at 2:30. Tyler Tanner with 24 in the win over Ole Miss. I do want to shed the light on one matchup coming up on Wednesday. Lipscomb at Austin Peay. Lipscomb has won 6 of 7. The Bisons beat Peay a couple weeks ago in Nashville. Austin Peay's won 11 out of 12. The only loss early December was to Lipscomb. The Governors are in first. Lipscomb is 1 game back, so that is a massive game coming up. Also, TSU has won 4 out of 5. They're 7-2 in their last 9. The Tigers are in second in the OVC, 1 game behind UT Martin. They host Tennessee Tech tonight at 7:30 at Gentry Center. Eastern Illinois Thursday and Western Illinois Saturday. So 3 straight home games for TSU coming up. And Belmont on fire. They've won 7 in a row, including a 103-86 win over Murray State Saturday. Lundblade had 27 for the Bruins.
Yeah.
Belmont has a 2-game lead in the Missouri Valley Conference now. They host Drake tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. More 3HL coming up tomorrow. We appreciate you joining us today. We hope you have a great night. We certainly are very thankful and mindful of the fact that you include us in your day and in your lives. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Hopefully we were able to put a smile on your face at some point today. 3HL, Organized Chaos. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be unless you were getting a shout out to the one and only, the best dealers. The ones that take our money, we don't fool with y'all.
Kendall.
Yeah.
Blackjack. Kendall.
Yeah, we need some good dealers, y'all.
And Circa.
Good dealers.